Welcome back indeed. Alright. Tavern music. Stop. There we go. Now I got to remember what music I was going to use today. Do I have it written down? Yes, I do. Perfect. So, hello and welcome everyone to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players. Harlan.
Hello.
Simon.
Hello.
Sudz.
Hello.
Sam. He's muted. Okay. Infernal.
He's off for a bit. He is here though.
Okay. Sam will be back shortly. We have no Jamie tonight. If he does tune in, he'll be on a train. He'll be on his phone. He might be watching the stream. I don't know. He's not here at the moment, but we do wish him well, and hopefully his character doesn't die. He knows the risks. Hey, you got a Cleric.
He knows the game we play.
This is true. He does. He knows the game that we play, and he also knows that he is currently probably the most ready to go character out of all of you. Because all of you have used quite a few spell slots so far.
Anyway. Hey, I'm looking pretty spicy.
Oh, that's good. I look forward to you using them. And Sam is here.
No, I'm not. Don't know what you're on about. We
that's
live?
a shame. Yes, we are.
Wonderful.
Yes, we are.
Hi, people.
Yes. Hello, all the peoples.
You don't know. My players may eventually bother watching this.
Yeah. I mean, they've been watching some of the YouTube videos.
Have they?
Yeah. Mainly,
oh, no.
Mainly the speed art, because it's shorter video durations than 4 hours. Anyway, so, usual announcements. Thank you to Sasha for all the artwork, including some, which I'm looking forward to using. Yes, I finally got some art done, some which are going to be wonderful to show when it comes around. And also thank you to Tabletop Audio for the free music, sound effects, and everything else that comes from that. It is free. You can go check it out, and wonderful things. This is done on Tabletop Simulator. I make the maps. They're made on Incarna.com, and you can otherwise make commissions from me if you so wish. Sam's Players, that includes you. If you want me to make you a map for free for one of your one-shots that Sam may or may not talk to you about, I can design it to your heart's content.
All right, Chris, I need a beer garden.
I can make that in 5 minutes, Sam.
No, Chris. Not a beer garden. A beer garden.
A garden made of beers?
Think Willy Wonka, but alcoholic.
Wasn't that a Family Guy bit?
Probably.
If you want to view.
I also would like a wine valley and a cider orchard.
Okay. Tell me this later. We can go through details.
This is 90% a joke.
We'll see. Might be a joke, might not.
That one shot.
Apologies about my throat, and if I have to clear it several times tonight, for one reason or another, I have a little bit of a croaky throat. It may or may not be from practice. No, it may be from practicing a specific voice for tonight if it comes up.
Chris.
Oh no.
Have you been practicing illithid voices?
No.
You have.
He was ready for
secretly.
us.
He's been trying to learn how to do noblin.
No. No, well, you know, deep speech is a very difficult language with one mouth, so.
What have he been doing? No, maybe he's doing Noblin and Faramar's terrible child. I just imagine a really old Noblin.
Anyway, stop sounding like the zombies or Crazy Dave from Plants vs Zombies. Alright, so let us actually get on with this session tonight, shall we?
Meat boss up.
We could just keep fucking about and not deal with this.
Last session, our party of adventurers: Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Malcom, Bern, and Rook. After otherwise having a conversation with Elsyan's mother, Shariel, about various matters, and realizing that something wasn't quite right, they teleported, using a little bit of Elsyan's magic, to the Elven Kingdoms, where, upon speaking to Emiriel, Elsyan's father, they discovered that his uncle, Delman Arnuk, had been somehow manipulating the party as a whole, and Elsyan more specifically. With this beginning to open up, the party continued to investigate the matters going forward. Figuring out what they would do next, they went and challenged Delman on these matters, speaking to him personally to figure out why exactly he'd been doing these things. as the party entered into his household, otherwise being greeted by Duncan and proceeding to head into the living room, breaking off a door handle and proceeding to mend it before waiting and sitting, listening for when Delmon should approach. And he did. Warmly and welcomely, he did things out of the ordinary, casting glibness upon himself and asking for it to be dispelled to prove that he was trying to be innocent, going above and beyond any typical conversation manner. And he did so. He otherwise sat down and proceeded to talk with the rest of your company, mentioning the various matters at hand and the magic that had been cast, as well as the deception that had been played thus far in this event. With the backstory of Elsyan beginning to be uncovered in a much more open manner, Elsyan began to realise that things weren't quite as they seemed, and a difficult choice was on the horizon. Have Delmon live, knowing full well on what would happen, setting him free and casting him out to a distant land, potentially causing difficulty, or killing him, and potentially causing riots and other difficulties within the Elven Kingdoms as the political side of things would break down. With a difficult choice ahead, he spoke and invoked the mask. Unknowing to him, the mask wasn't quite as it seemed, and upon doing so created a shift, a rift, and otherwise a different aesthetic to the world around him. As a portal tore open, tearing through the defences of the house, and as they otherwise were torn away from their usual boundaries and foundations, a Neothalid Prime broke through the barrier and confronted the party. Two of them, who were currently in the hallway, had to face it initially, while the rest of the party felt the presence and went to their aid, assisting and helping them. Evacuating with Delmon's wife and child, the party then recovered from their little encounter, with Elsyan realising alongside Delmon that Shariel was in danger. For a seat had been created at their wedding, one dedicated to the mask, the god of thieves, or whoever takes up that mantle. With this new discovery, they took it upon themselves to head back to try and save Elsyan's mother, and they proceeded to prepare to do so. As they realised that teleportation may not be the best choice, the party otherwise followed Malcolm's lead, heading out towards one of the larger trees just outside of Delmon's mansion. As Malcolm placed his hand on the tree, it splits, creating an archway and void of which the party could pass through. Running down and through, they began to see the light at the end of the tunnel beginning to open up to a new world before them, one which wasn't as they left it. A soft orange glow began to otherwise gradient across the ground before them, flickering in some regard. And as they pass through into the tree on the other side within their garden, they look up to see their tavern lightly ablaze, flames on the roof otherwise flickering, with what looked to be the pieces of large stone and rubble around the area of Abod's tower now sundered and destroyed. You see and hear what sound to be bells ringing, warning bells, attack bells within the city. The sound of shouting from the street beyond, and the guild in full flow, also lightly on fire. With this now taking place and beginning to unfold before them, the party look around, kind of taking in the environment, Rook immediately bolting to the tavern to go and save whoever may still be inside. As this does take place, the rest of you kind of look around. Malcolm and Elsyan in particular notice this first, as you look up and you hear the low groan and hum of what looks to be that of a strange ship, clad in purple flesh with a large snail-like shell on the back, large tendrils reaching out and downwards, some destroying and striking buildings, others with what looks to be these smaller tendrils reaching out into the streets below, and what looks to be a large vessel above, as it lets out a low groan onto the horizon, hearing it otherwise dissipate out throughout the streets. Elsyan, you're the only one with a high enough perception here to pick this up, as you hear multiple other groans throughout the city, initiating in response to this one. What are your immediate reactions? Rook at this point has otherwise dashed off, heading into the tavern, realizing that people may be in danger and that they need to be saved or protected.
I'm gonna look to Delmon and just go, we need to go check on Mother.
Agreed. What about the
Come on,
rest of
let's
your
go.
friends?
What?
Down, if they want to follow, down to them.
I need Sasha. Sasha, I need your help.
What do you need?
I need these chains off. Please help.
Give me a second, just.
Wait, what chains? What chains are you talking about?
Adamantine chains that are wrapped around his wings. They remove his fly speed but make him immune to crits.
I need.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to finagle my way in there. I'm assuming there's got to be some sort of release mechanism or something.
The nature of the chains, because they're considered heavy armor, would take a minute
Right.
if he's taking them off on his own, or 5 rounds with help.
If you
Oh no, that's too long.
As this is
Fine, then
going
I will
on,
do it
I'm going
myself.
to make Big Felipe.
just before everyone heads off, I would like to cast Rari's telepathic bond.
Do you have the spell slot for it?
1 5th level spell slot and a 6th level spell slot. I can do it. If
Okay.
you're willing to spend 10 minutes, I could also ritual cast it, but we don't have the time.
Queglod, let me get on as well.
So we are now all.
But this is the plan. We're sticking here to defend the tavern. You go off and
I go off with Delmon. If someone else wants to join us, that's a bit more getting smashed in the face would be nice. Sasha, your family. Or not.
I feel offended, but I didn't actually hear what you said because of the giant fucking shellfish.
We'll deal with the shellfish. Just I want to check. But I'm going. Elsyan runs off.
So in this
Delmon.
instance,
So
I will
we
divide
are-
the party up as necessary.
We are
I
telepathic.
need to make a roll for whether I follow Elsyan or not because I'm torn between Sasha's almost pathological urge to be helpful and save people, and then also my emotional relationship with
Do
with
whatever you
Elsyan.
want, Sasha. Fine. You do what you think's best.
Okay, so
Right,
we
okay, I'm gonna.
have-
So odds is Elsyan, even is people. It was even. I trust
Fine.
that you can deal with this on your own.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Don't have to
Keep
spell
in mind that
slot.
you are still concentrating on Holy Weapon, and Rook still has that being affecting him.
This is true.
So, breaking you down into your groups. Currently, we have Elsyan and Delman otherwise running out past and in between the guild and the tavern. As you head out towards the edge of the street, you can see what looks to be across the way. You can see the blacksmiths of one of your neighbours is currently also lightly on fire. As you see in the streets, what looks to be your guards otherwise there, holding their ground and preparing. As you can see, what looks to be some larger figures and some more interesting smaller figures moving around in the street.
Please tell me I didn't unprepare it. Please tell me I didn't unprepare it. Oh no, I unprepared it.
So with Sasha and Rook otherwise heading into the tavern to try and protect whoever it is, Queglod and Bern, you're otherwise rising up above the tavern at this point. As you head over, as you're kind of lifting up above the top of the tavern, about 50, 60 feet up at this point, you can see as you all know it to be, a nautiloid overhead. The low grumbles and the large tendrils reaching down as some of them do strike nearby buildings, as it's almost not pulling itself along, but it is gliding in a particular direction. Kind of a southwestern direction that cuts across from where your tavern would be.
And out of interest, what is southwest of here?
Southwest of here, you
Yes,
get the Grand Arcanium,
Mhm.
which is the wizard school, and then further south from that, you get the West Gate. Outside of that, it is entirely industrial district.
Okay, and this is not the direction that the tavern that Elsyan is staying is in.
No, the one that Elsyan's going to be heading to is is near the center of the city.
Okay. Cool.
I start blasting it.
With
I'm asking Queglod.
Okay, I will begin Eldritch Blasting and Eldritch Pluming from below.
Okay, so you're getting within range for those, which is 150 feet.
120, I believe, but yes.
Yes. Okay. So you'll be around 70 feet off the ground,
Mhm.
below this thing.
Back in a sec.
Okay, no worries.
All right. Bern, let me know if you need to get closer.
No, my
And-
thing is 600 feet.
For what?
Alright. I'll be aiming, like near the front where those tentacle things are, and I'm gonna try and blast it with Mysterial Incineration.
With the nature of how the Nautiloid is set up, which actually I did forget to move that stat block across, so I am just going to quickly go to that. That's the one that I did forget to move across. The main thing to note about the Nautiloid itself is that the way that it is otherwise broken up, you have the smaller tendrils at the front, the larger tendrils to the side, and then you have what looks to be almost like a bridge on the top of it, and and then the large shell at the back. So there are multiple areas that you can target, and keep in mind that it doesn't go AoE until it kills something. So depending on what you target initially will affect if it goes AoE.
Wait, so it has small tendrils and then long tendrils at the side?
Yes, so the broad sides are large tendrils, the tendrils at the front are smaller tendrils, which kind of reach down, it seems.
I want to take out the ones that reach down. What about the longer ones?
The longer ones similarly have a large reach. They're able to easily club the top of buildings and kind of clear them out. With you being potentially in range and getting yourselves noticed, it's possible that it will notice you and start throwing punches.
Big or small one?
Small ones are more likely target. I mean, I can start trying to clear things out if you want to. Wait a moment. Just out of interest, where's this thing going to fall if we actually take it out?
If it falls directly down, it will fall probably 150 feet from your tavern. If it glides, it will probably crash into a portion of the street below, kind of a good maybe 1,000 feet, maybe more away, depending on how far it glides. But you don't know if this thing will glide or not.
Well, the only alternative is to leave it here, so I guess we have no choice on that front. I don't know how your spell works, so you'd probably be better placed to choose.
Well, it shoots at a part of it. Does a lot of siege damage, but I'm gonna be using my 9th level spell slot for it. So I need to target the right thing. We want to take out the most.
Depending on how much a lot is, I would say probably go for one of the bigger tentacles.
Keep in mind that these will, depending on the area, these may or may not hit certain parts. So if you were to target the tendrils on the broadsides, if one of them were to go supernova, it would hit the shell and the underbelly of it quite easily. Whereas if you were to target the ones at the front, it would just hit the underbelly and wouldn't hit any of the other tendrils, given in the AoE.
Okay.
So the
I'll
ones
go
at the
for
side, although they are beefier, then you're not necessarily going to worry about them.
I'll go for one of the big ones then.
What kind of save is this?
That's a good idea to open up my character sheet.
Yes. Okay. While you're doing that and while you're sorting that out, then.
It is a charisma.
Charisma. Okay.
I will be, however, heightened spelling that. I don't know if that changes anything.
So disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Does mean it rolls with disadvantage.
Huh?
Wow! Those are two really good rolls, but the ship only has a +2, so that's a 20 total.
That's a fail. Okay.
It's a natural 20 and an 18. Really good rolls with disadvantage. Shame it's got a trash save.
Okay. So that is oh boy, how does this thing scale? So 3d8 above 7th. So that's 68 extra on top of 14d8. So 20d8.
20d8 damage. Okay. You have 9, 10, 16.
4 more.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yep, that should be 20d8. Heightened spell, is that the one that allows you to reroll some of the dice, or is that one that just gives disadvantage? I forget.
No, Heightened Spell gives disadvantage, but I could use where is it? Empowered Spell. I think no.
Empowered spell?
Are
Are you able to use it after?
Spell damage for a spell, I spend 1 extra sorcery point and I can reroll amount of my charisma mod. So yeah.
Okay. Is that one of the ones which allows it to stack with?
Yeah, this one can be used on top of any other.
Okay, then yeah, go ahead.
So yeah. So 1, 2, 3.
This
Can I
one.
reroll the same ones or no?
If it says you can, then you can.
It says when you roll damage for a spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll the number of damage dice up to your charisma mod. And you must use the new rolls. Never mind.
Okay, so you must use new rolls. There you go.
So that's 3 I rerolled, or 4. 4 I think.
So you got 2 more.
3 more.
3
It
more.
was 3 that you
Oh, 3.
did. You did
So
this one, this
So you
one,
got
this
more to
one.
go. Okay, which ones did you reroll? This one,
That one, this
that
one.
and that one. Okay, I'm just going to move them to the side so we know not to reroll them. Wrong button.
What the fuck did I press?
Do you wish to reroll any of the
Yeah, I
fours?
think this is fine. This is fine.
Okay. So 116 points of damage.
Radiant siege damage.
Siege doubled to 232 damage. That is enough to take out the one tendril you were targeting.
Okay.
So you do damage to the lashing tendril, killing one of them. This thing goes supernova, hitting in what AoE around it?
30 foot, I believe.
30 foot. Okay.
I'll read the spell again.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Causing all creatures within 30 feet to make a charisma saving throw, or take half the damage dealt.
Given the nature of how this would be set out, this would hit the other 5 tendrils on this broadside, would hit the hull, would hit the shell, and that would be all that it would hit. Oh no, it would also hit the hollow tendrils as well. So I will start with the other lashes.
No,
Fail.
I guess this wouldn't
Fail.
have the heightened spell on it, would it?
Heightened spell is a specific target, I believe. So
Yeah, it says the target on the first saving throw on the target.
yeah, so then it would just be that. Then it would just be the first one that has disadvantage on. Well, all 4 of the other tendrils on this side fail. The
Because I was
hull,
confused because it's technically the same thing.
the hull fails, and the shell fails. Okay. So that then gets halved,
116.
doing 116 damage to each. Okay. The shell is definitely cracked with that. Hull takes 116. Knocking it down to that.
Let me calculate how many fucking spells that was.
That is
Oh, I'm so stupid.
all of the lashing tendrils went down on this broadside. And I believe because of the modifications it doesn't explode again, it only explodes the first time for half damage.
Wait. Target creature then range makes a charisma saving throw. It takes 14 damage damage. Targets made from unorganic material get disadvantage. Oh, it had disadvantage anyway.
Well, no, because it's made of organic material.
Oh, it's organic. Okay.
Because it's made of flesh. Yeah. If you targeted the shell, is bones organic? Wouldn't that bones under organic, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Also
I
consumed.
mean,
the 50
you
GP
can
of iron
regrow
dust.
bones, so.
So yeah, it would be organic. If the
If a
target
target is reduced to 0 hit points as a result of the spell, they explode. So if they're not reduced to 0, they don't
they
explode.
took no successful save. This This damage itself can explode, however, any overlapping explosions do not damage more than once in any given creature. So that means that they do go off, but they don't damage the other anything else because they can't overlap and do
Oh,
multiple
so if
explosions.
so the main one exploded, it hit the one next to it, and it hit this one as well. For example, if this one explodes, it doesn't hit this one again.
It can't hit the second one again, correct? Yeah, I mean all of them are down either way. All the lashing tendrils and the captured and the hollow tendrils on this side are down as well. So that's those 2 out of 4 gone. All right,
Do those ones explode as well?
which ones?
So there's 3 at the front, right? So this one exploded, and I got
Okay,
this one.
here's the general drawing of the ship. This isn't the accurate dimensions, but assume that that's the shell, that's the rest. You have the lashing tendrils on either side. You have the capture tendrils at the front. You have the hollow tendrils that otherwise reach out below the ship. You have the shell itself that otherwise goes there, and then you've got the hull, which is the ship as a whole. So what you've done is you've knocked out all of these. You've knocked out these 2. And because of the radius and because of the length of the ship, you don't hit the capture tendrils, but you do hit the hull and badly damage the shell.
Okay, so I hit both.
Yeah. As you otherwise kind of bring your hands together, a crackling white and blue flame begins to ignite between your 2 palms as you pull them apart. Queglod, you watch as Felipe does kind of mildly react, flying in the air there. Before you watch as Bern streaks his hand outwards, it catches the side of one of the lashing tendrils as you watch as almost this chain reaction flame shoots up the tendril as it's disintegrated before there's a cracking blowout sound. As it explodes around the side of the ship, you watch as this radiant energy just erupts from the side. The shell is cracked, and you can see a lot of visible cracks running up the side of the hardened shell. The hull on the underside burns, and chunks of it begin to fall away, crumbling into ash as they fall to the ground below. And you watch as the deck is now covered in this radiant energy. You see what look to be a number of forms that may have been standing on the top of the ship from this angle, which you couldn't see, which kind of collapse off of the edge as well.
Okay. Yes, that's a relevant question. How far into the ship would the chain reaction have reached?
The chain reaction, due to the nature of how it goes, because it doesn't go around corners, it would only have hit the people on the edge of the top right.
Okay. So anyone on the deck is having a bad time.
Anyone on the deck is having a bad
inside?
time or dead, but anybody on the inside is unaffected. Correct.
Okay, cool. That's relevant.
Okay. That explosion goes off. At this point, I would like you all to roll for initiative, given the nature of how this is all unfolded, and I'll say that is on round. I'll say that is on round 3 of what happens, because Elsyan and Delman are entering the combat below in the street.
We're trying to get to the
Or did I
tavern.
not see that?
My mother wasn't.
Queglod said she's firing at the same time, similar as me.
Yes,
or
so
before
that
me.
will go off once I get to the initiative order, and I'll say that it
Okay,
goes off before her turn.
Okay, cool. Just because she said it before me.
Yeah, no, it's just because of my ordering.
Okay.
I'm gonna get this.
Sorry about that.
That's
I'm
fine.
back.
Bern blew a massive hole in the side of the Nautiloid.
Oh no!
Alright.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
We are aware those things can disappear, right?
You don't know.
I've never seen this thing in my life.
No, none of you have ever seen
fair,
this thing
that's
in
fair.
your life. It's just a
At
matter
present,
of...
the plan is, because it's still in the air, to get above it, get inside, grab anyone it's grabbed, and then finish it off.
Yeah. You wouldn't know that it's grabbed anyone, and you wouldn't necessarily know that this thing can grab. The extent is that you know that these tendrils are reaching down to the people below. You haven't visibly seen anyone be apparated upwards yet.
Okay.
So the extent of what you know would be, this thing's a danger. Taking it out's fine. You know that illithids, which you have fought before, do abduct people, so there's a possibility of it.
I do think it's fair that I could at least speculate that.
Yes,
That's what it's
you'd be able to speculate that there are degrees of understanding here. I actually say anyone who's proficient in Arcana, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check with disadvantage to know the exact nature of how a Nautiloid functions.
What check, sorry?
Arcana with
Wait,
disadvantage.
this is Bern 2. Let me check this Bern
This is
2.
Bern too.
Sorry, what was? Okay. That for Elsyan, that is a 17.
Okay. And Queglod?
For Queglod, that is an 18.
Okay. The two of you understand that Nautiloids are very mythical kind of things. For one reason or another, you know that they're very rare and that they don't get made that often, if at all. You know they are a stuff of legend from the age of Arcania and before. You don't know the full extent of such creatures. The only thing that you do know is that if you take this thing down, you can certainly leave a massive dent in whatever lithids or mind flayers may have come with it, now being trapped on the material plane. You also know that they do tend to capture people when they do have brine pools on board. So, with this now growing into a little bit more of a combat, let me play Mind Flayer Chamber. Seems fitting.
We're in danger.
So, 25 to 20, everyone.
Would you roll for Rook?
Oh, you roll for Rook, it's fine. Actually, no, Malcolm. Seeing as you're going to be stuck with, stuck taking the chains off for a few turns, do you want to play Rook for now?
Sure, why not?
You get to bash stuff. I'll tell you what you end up getting for the rolls. Most of the stuff you just know is just hit things at range. But then again,
Yep.
Rook's mostly going to be just reacting rather than anything. So go ahead and roll me initiative for him, please. And yourself as well.
I rolled mine.
Rook gets a +2.
+2, I think?
Yes, +2. So 25 to 20, anyone? 20 to 15.
17 for Rook. 15 for me.
Anyone else?
Doesn't seem like
15 to 10.
14 on me.
10 to 5.
Nope.
Damn it, I rolled both my dice. I believe I got a 9.
Okay.
No, sorry, got a 12. I apologise.
12.
I'm wrong. Natural 9.
Okay.
I was like, yeah. 12.
I need to add Delman to the initiative. Delman got a 19.
Yeah, I'm going to fight with my uncle that's going to cripple himself with spells.
We'll see. 5 to 0.
3.
Queglod?
Oh, sorry, it's just not here. I got an 8.
Oh, okay. Must have missed that then. My bad.
I
Okay.
may have
No, I
muted.
didn't hear it either. Must have cut
I
out.
probably was muted then.
No harm done. So, I have you in the initiative order, and I then need to add the appropriate creatures. So, Elsyan,
Yes.
could you move the D8s out of the way, someone, if you could?
Why are there so many D8s? I must have blanked for a second.
Bern cast a 9th level ethereal incineration.
You just needed to end it at burn cast.
Bern cast, yes. So, here is the outside of your tavern. The roof of it is on fire, but I haven't put that in here because it wasn't necessary.
Hey, Infernal, we can draw the fire like we used to. Oh god, no, not on this. It will make it massive. I
No,
apologize.
it is unfortunately because of the way it functions, because it is an expanded tile. This thing's usually a 2x2. So,
I remember the good old days when we could draw.
Oh,
fire.
good old days.
so you two have run out from
Days began.
in between here. You can see the grate of your fence up ahead. It's a low fence, so you can easily jump over it.
This is our tavern on the left?
This is your tavern, and this is the guild, which has just finished building.
Ooh.
A lot smaller than what it looks like here.
Yeah, I know. It's just so I could fit it on one map.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So you rush out. You see Delman beside you. You see kind of the bushes in front of you and the low fence ahead of you, with kind of a small brick wall which you can easily vault over. But you otherwise move out, and you see in these streets some of the members of staff of your own. Some of your members of staff. You see the ones who are otherwise on duty at the time, or otherwise kind of positioned themselves here, along with a large number of the individuals who are currently being kept in this area, as you see what looks to be some forms in the streets below. Actually, no. I think it's these.
Is this our backyard, or is this just the opposite side of our tavern?
This. And 3 of these.
Sorry, Chris, what
Oh,
was
this is
this
just
again?
the other fourth that's on the opposite side.
That's the blacksmiths across the road, yeah. This is the main shop, this is his house.
Okay.
I feel sorry for this guy. I mean, he has us as
Jesus
neighbors.
Christ.
What the fuck is that thing? Give its skin back. Put its skin back on.
Okay, this is a bit monk-ass.
What do you mean?
Never seen
Yeah,
this.
this is
thing
He
actually
doesn't have
Behold,
nipples. Where are
Behold's,
his nipples?
this is Behold's new form.
So,
This is Evil Behold. Give me a second.
so
He
with
did the thing of
this-
flexing so hard all his clothes came off, but it also took all his skin with it.
So,
This is Dlob. Evil Behold.
That was bad, even for me.
so
Oh, no, it's Dlob.
the
Let me
mind
just
Dwarf.
flayer, the mind
Sorry,
flayer's
how have I
got
got that?
that. Okay, okay, that makes things interesting.
Dlob.
Where are you two? There you are. So you have a +1, and you have a -1. Ah, wonderful.
What?
Okay.
Oh boy.
You got that, and you. Wonderful.
None of them rolled above a 5.
You're not. You're close.
No, no, none of them rolled above a 6.
One of them did.
Oh,
No, at the very least, it is nice to be vindicated in our decision to hire guards.
Yes, this is true. However, they are currently trying to fend off what's going on here, and
we hired guards. Surely we hired them as like just a time stopgap before we got somewhere. So actually, you know what? This is working well.
Yes, there are other individuals as well in this combat, but you currently can't see them from this angle, so you don't entirely know what's going on in the main courtyard.
So limited on spell slots.
Okay,
Ugh.
so in this
It's
instance,
not daylight, right?
no,
it's
it's
okay.
nighttime. The only light which you guys can see is that there are, with you two being heightened above the rest, you can see fires throughout the city.
Let's start throwing out cantrips.
So, Delman takes the first round.
Delman,
With his high initiative here.
go, Uncle.
He is going to.
Well, I forgot he had the alert feat, didn't he?
Yeah.
Plus he has a high dex, so he's got a +9 to his initiative. Which, you know, only brings him to a 24.
Nice.
Yeah, he's good.
Caster with high dex.
Hmm?
A caster with high dex.
Yeah, well, you know, it gives him his AC, because mage arm. He's also an elf, so, yeah. Okay. He is going to, at this range... Actually, no. Before he moves, Elsyan, would you prefer to run from this fight or try and help?
Rather not at my depends on my employees, not just mine. But anyway, I'd prefer to not let them die.
Okay.
Can I like do a check on his physical state? Because
Make me a
We had that
medicine
discussion.
check.
that's a check.
Yeah.
Just because I'm presumably obviously gotten weaker, and it's not just because he's been getting smacked. That's a
Yeah.
D8, Sam. You don't roll checks with a D8.
That would be fun.
Oh, 20.
Nat 20?
23, so 28.
You can see that he has taken some significant damage, although none of you have done any fighting.
What's happened to you? What?
He
Why are you so injured?
he otherwise kind of clutches his arm. Don't worry about me. I'm going to help you stay alive in this fight. You need to get to Mother. Or your mother. He places his hand on your shoulder, and he is going to cast Greater Invisibility on you.
Oh, the moron. Okay.
Okay,
'Cause
so you are
I-
now Greater Invisible, so this means that you will be able to use attack rolls with advantage, because people won't know where you are. And when you've used a spell or anything, you will become revealed for 6 seconds, and then you will go invisible at the end of your turn again.
Okay, so it's a case of I do it, then I'll go invisible at the end of my turn.
I believe it's the end
Nice.
of your turn.
Just don't.
Yeah, because I know that invisible is broken when you do stuff, but greater invisibility breaks that rule by reapplying it. It's either at the end of your turn or after the action's completed.
I mean, greater invisibility is a very is a 2-sentence spell.
Oh no, greater invisibility is just you are invisible until the spell ends.
Yeah, so you're just invisible for the 1 minute. And it's concentration.
Wonderful.
Oh, good God.
Right! Now here's the problem. I don't have many spell slots.
Okay. You watch as he otherwise does cast this, you watch as there's a little bit of blood that runs down his right arm. As he does otherwise kind of crouches and takes a step back. Go, do what you can.
Can Elsyan put 2 and 2 together here?
I'll say with the natural 20 on the medicine check, plus the fact that he revealed it to you earlier with the nature of his arm, that some things had a lasting effect on him.
Right.
The music's changed.
That...
No, it hasn't.
It's the fucking wish spell. The wish spell, yeah? You... That's...
Don't concentrate on me right now. Do what you can.
Kinda need the help, to be honest. And no use to me dead.
Okay. End of his turn. So it's going to end his turn there. Rook is currently running into the building. He was going in first. So, there are 2 back ways into your home. The most accessible one is through the smithy.
Yeah, I mean, we teleported like here. So.
Yeah, you teleported there. So Rook otherwise has access and he'd be here in the smithy. Where would you like to move him? As you otherwise look around, you can see the interior of the smithy is otherwise intact and safe. Nothing on the interior of here is on fire. You can't see anyone in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and general note, the right side of your tavern here is destroyed. This bit here.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna cost money.
Yes, it was, because Abod's tower is completely gone, including the teleportation circle.
Oh,
Great.
fuck me.
6. Don't worry, we can. Between me knowing teleportation
I'm kind of
circle,
hoping he's just
Bern...
teleported the goddamn place out of there. He's like, nope, not dealing with this.
You saw the rubble outside, so...
Oh no.
Let's see.
Okay, we know he's a really fucking powerful wizard. He should have some fucking hit points.
He's a simulacrum. The one you've got is a simulacrum. The one that came to the tavern and is currently sleeping in the underground.
He's got half those He's got half those hit points.
Yeah, so he's got like 60.
30? Okay.
He's got a 40-foot movement speed.
But for now, we can't fix it, so just move on and not worry about it until we can.
Yeah, I'll make sure I've got Rook's character sheet up for you.
How far can he move?
40 feet.
I feel like he'd be trying to get through this as fast as possible, so definitely gonna dash.
15, 20, 25.
That would be 40 there.
40. Barge through the door, easily enough. Easy to do as an extra 5 feet.
Considering he knew that they were going to bed, I think he'd go to the first staff room and see if they're in there.
Okay. Heading into the first staff room, I'll say as he gets here, a few things to note. This door is currently open, where it's usually closed at this hour, and so is the door as he enters this area. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. As he otherwise kind of stands looking in, you note that Zuvan is not there.
Hey, Zuvan is not
I'm just going
there.
to flip him over because he's not there.
So I guess he'd try and make it towards here.
Okay.
But I know he won't be able to make it there, so...
Yeah. Dashing, would you like to head down this way or go back this way?
I think it would be best to go back because I believe this is the stairs to go up.
Yes, yeah, that's
here.
the stairs that lead. No, that's the stairs that leads up to here, which is the actual inn itself. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that would be the stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
He would go this way because he can check here, see if anybody's here or not, and then head up.
Okay. With that,
Let's see.
I believe
5,
that is the end of Rook's turn.
and 15, 20. 30, 35, 40,
What?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,
40.
40.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's his full movement. Okay. With that, it is now the Hulk's turn.
The what?
The
I'm not-
big skinless.
No.
Yeah.
I,
The
I,
Hulk.
I get it.
I'm not reading his full description, his full
Because he
name.
doesn't want people to look it up.
Because there are some things about this creature that I'd rather you don't know for certain effects.
Oh,
Okay.
it's just pretty sus there, Chris.
It is going to. Yeah, it's going to take two swings versus Marie. Or
Rip Marie. Don't die, Marie. Please.
actually,
This does not
no.
spark joy.
It is going to.
This one does not spark joy.
It's going to move up here, and he's going to make a Reaping Arms attack. As you're otherwise looking around the edge, Elsyan, from your invisible state, you kind of see the two illithids kind of standing there, focusing on kind of what looks to be like almost sourceless magic, some form of psionics. But looking on, you see this massive red figure kind of step up, and you watch as it swings around with its right arm as it almost turns into this kind of weird slime, almost tendon-like muscle. As it swings around, you watch as the edge of it hardens into this massive steel blade that carves through all of the creatures within 10 feet of it.
Nice.
Attack roll versus Marie. Yeah, that hits. Attack roll versus Shen, misses. Attack roll versus Omen, hits. Attack roll versus the two that you can't see, hits and hits. Okay.
Oh no!
Each of them takes... That is max damage! Each of them takes 21 bludgeoning damage as this thing swings around, clubbing a large portion of them with the kind of the heavier edge of the blunt blade as it carves through them before it swings back around, and you watch as it lifts its arm up and drips a portion of the blood across itself, and you watch as these streaks begin to run down its chest, marking along with a few others from you note, as this combat has been going for a short while.
Yay.
Okay. With that is the end of the Hulk's turn. Malcom, you're taking the chains off at this point. You're kind of unraveling them, kind of pulling them off. You've begun to get one wing done, but kind of reaching around to your back to take them off is awkward as you are trying to kind of pull them off. It's taking you a little bit. Burn. At this point, your ethereal incineration goes off as you otherwise reach up with your hands, burning a large portion of the ship as there's this loud crashing sound and light radiates the sky above. You hear the large groan from the ship above before you hear the groans elsewhere from around the city, as you hear what sound to be two other groans and one deeper groan. Okay.
Groans and is like taking damage, or groans and is like
Groans is in other of these things are around the city, and one deeper one is in a larger one.
from out of the ship.
Hmm?
It didn't come from the ship.
It didn't what the ship?
The large one, it didn't come from the ship.
No, it didn't come from the ship above you. It came from a ways off into the city, which means there's a bigger one out there.
Tell which way or no?
Southeast from the center of the city somewhere, where Elsyan and Shariel, or Elsyan and Delmon will be heading.
Ah.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what I
Fortune.
wanted to know.
He's secret. He is my mother.
Okay. Bern, I believe that will conclude your turn with the casting of the ethereal incineration. Elsyan,
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm invisible, yeah?
you are currently invisible, yes.
And I'll stay that way even if I cast spells, yeah?
Correct.
Yep.
Regardless of the actions you take, you will remain invisible so long as he is concentrating.
Right then. You said it's pretty easy just to hop over this fence,
Yeah,
yeah?
it is just difficult terrain.
So,
It also provides half cover. Decides to stay that side.
just...
Yeah.
You know, I'm invisible. Don't have trouble hitting me anyway.
Yeah, it's disadvantage plus you get...
So...
Oh, it's just flat disadvantage, I think.
Got Mind Flare there, this... Fuck. What to me looks the most dangerous out of what's fine here? I know the big guy, but does it seem like he's being controlled by these?
No, it doesn't seem
Mind
that
flayers
way.
are
No,
just-
he seems to be independent, and as you do otherwise kind of look his way, there's a moment of recognition that he seems to be the superior here.
Okay, so the big guy seems like he's in charge.
Down here, yes, it seems that way.
Classic cast is being pushed around by the marshals yet again. Well, this big guy doesn't look too smart. So I think I'm going to cast Mind Sliver
On the big guy?
on the big guy.
Okay. What save is that?
Intelligence saving throw.
And what is it doing?
Drive a disorientating spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. Target must succeed on intelligence saving throw or take, now at 17th level, 4d6 psychic damage, and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay.
Rolled low.
This is awkward. What's your DC?
Oh no, it rolled high.
My DC, 20.
20. Okay.
Oh, sorry, 21.
21. With a natural 20, minus his intelligence save, he succeeds.
Oh my god.
What? Okay, so what you're telling me
Yes.
is that the only reason he succeeded is because he got a natural
20. As you otherwise kind of reach out with the Mind Sliver spell, otherwise
Damn.
shooting it towards him, you watch there's kind of this tingle, and you watch as both of the ears on the side of his head kind of twitch. But outside of that, there's no recognition of being affected.
Fuck. And here I'm sat remembering, I was talking to my father. Could have used some arcane restoration.
No one knows that this is currently taking place. So you cast the spell. No one knows. Nobody hears. The mind flayers ahead of you still seem to be otherwise dealing with what's going on.
I was there, wasn't I? 1, 2,
No one
3,
can
4,
see your
5,
shame.
6.
Elsyan slowly just backs away.
1, 2, 3,
Frightened
4,
by just.
5, 6.
By the way, the place I'm trying to get to is in this direction, yeah?
Correct. You need to head up this way, and then you need to head down this way to get to the main street.
Main Street and towards the
Towards the
Tavern
centre,
of
yeah,
Mothers.
which will then become, if you're
Okay.
sprinting, a 4-minute run.
Do I get a sense if it got lucky or no?
You get the sense that from what happened, it does seem to be a stupid creature, and you don't know if it's immune to psychic or not. But if it got lucky or if it's just something that happened, you don't know.
Using the telepathic bond that I did earlier, just
Yep.
You may want to get outside and deal with the big skinless monster.
Okay. Using telepathic
See if-
bond, the rest of you hear that.
Now I need to do something real quick.
So,
I think the only person not affected by that is Delman himself. I believe the whole party is affected.
did you not include him in your casting?
I believe it's limited to 6 creatures. 8 willing creatures, so yeah, he is connected.
He is connected. Okay. Okay, good to know.
And that lasts for an hour from casting, which
Okay.
is just before this fight started.
Yeah, and it's not concentration?
Not concentration,
Okay,
no.
so yeah, you're going to have this the entire time you're here. Okay. End of your turn. It is the Nautiloid's turn.
The what?
The Nautiloid is going to take an about turn, turning 45 degrees to a new angle. Facing a bit more towards you two now, who are otherwise below it. You watch as it otherwise begins to drift down towards you. And because of the angle which it's attacking, the three lashing tendrils are going to have disadvantage to hit you guys. It's going to make 1 against Felipe, 1 against Bern, and 1 against Queglod here.
That is fair.
They have disadvantage?
They have disadvantage because they're trying to attack underneath the ship. Next turn, they'll be able to turn an additional 45 degrees and otherwise get you a bit more within their range. However, you can obviously adjust yourselves to stay always underneath it when it turns.
Yeah.
So you do have a little bit of leverage here. So, disadvantage, first attack against Bern. That is a 23 to hit. Nope. Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
23 to hit. Okay. That hits. Versus Queglod. That is higher than that. That's a 30 to hit.
Yeah, that's
And versus Felipe, that is a 24 to hit.
that hits as well.
Okay. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, that is with disadvantage. That's right.
Disadvantage, yeah. I was about to say, you're rolling that with disadvantage?
Yeah, and I was
Christ.
like, wait, no. I was like, what am I doing? I should be using the large number. I was like, no, it is disadvantage. That's right. It's just a really strong monster with a high to hit.
I was curious, but good rolls with disadvantage do happen sometimes.
Yeah, good rolls disadvantage. The lowest it rolled was an 8, and that was the roll against you, Bern. It's got a plus 15 to hit.
Christ.
Yeah, these things are
Ouch.
nasty. However,
Just to be clear there, it needs to roll a 2 to fail to hit me.
good to know. It is with disadvantage because of the way you can kite it, so there is that. And if you can get
Yeah.
within a certain range, it just can't hit you.
So yeah, 10%.
You get a nature of what is happening is as it does otherwise swing down, the tendril kind of whiffs a portion underneath as it does get a strike. As each of the tendrils kind of swings towards you, you narrowly manage to kind of dodge out the way, but there are moments where it catches and nicks the side. As Bern, you take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. Queglod, you take 33 points of bludgeoning damage. And Felipe takes 36 points of bludgeoning damage. As each of the tendrils otherwise does swing in, there's a moment of you dodging out the way, kind of flying over the others as they do kind of swing. 2 more swing down and strike at buildings, otherwise carving through them. With this thing very much in a bad situation. You watch as these smaller tendrils on the underneath that are currently occupied on the ground below begin to shift, kind of moving their way back up in preparation, potentially to strike you next turn. And there are more of them. So, with that is its turn. I assume none of you are inorganic creatures or structures, so...
Unless there's more things you need to reveal about Elsyan, I don't think so.
No. No, just because this thing's a siege monster. Surprise, surprise, so it does double damage versus structures.
I don't
shocked.
think any of us are
Nope.
siege.
Not that job.
What was that, Ben?
I don't think any of us are struck.
No. I mean, Sasha might come under that category now, but... So, with the end of the Nautiloid's turn, as it has otherwise drifted, kind of turning its way, Queglod, at this point you hear kind of the telepathic bond command, otherwise speaking out, saying that you might need to redivert your attention, but the Nautiloid is floating above you and has taken swings, kind of preoccupying you. How do you wish to act?
Yeah, I think this kind of has to be the priority. Did we agree this is before or after the spell was cast?
This is after the ethereal incineration has gone on.
Okay.
Off. However, you have your turn, so your dedication to
Yeah.
fire off the Eldritch Blasts you can choose to stick with, or you can choose to change. Oh no, because you declared it first, that's right, so you were going to get your 3 attacks from firing it off, so go ahead and make me the attack
Yeah.
rolls for your Eldritch Blasts here.
No hex here.
There's no hex. There can be if you want, but I don't know what the range is on that, so... Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head what the
I
range
believe
is. But I
it's-
do recall off the top of my head how many spell slots I have, and it's not very many.
Alright, go ahead and make
Yeah.
some
You're
attack
a
rolls.
warlock. It's never very many.
What are you aiming at? There are multiple parts of the ship
So,
available.
Yes. So
You have
the-
a choice of the hull, the shell, or the tendrils. Lashing, capture, and hollow. There are 5 lashing, 20 capture, and 2 hollow.
Yeah, how are they all doing? Given those are the ones. That
The
were
lashings were the ones that were destroyed on your broadside. The ones on the opposite
Mhm.
side are still fully functional. The captures don't seem to have been damaged because of how far away they were at the time.
Yeah.
And the hollows that were on your side have been destroyed. Outside of that, the hull, which is the underside, has taken some damage and is bleeding, but outside of that, it's not
Mhm.
taken the masses of damage. The shell, on the other hand, is heavily cracked, but it looks to be a fairly hard material.
Okay, so if I focus on the lashing on our side, as long as we stay on that side, it should have difficulty getting us.
The lashing on your side are the ones that are destroyed. Lashing on the other side are the ones that are having difficulty hitting you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not
Wait,
that they
so all,
don't
all
have
the tentacles on our side are destroyed.
are destroyed. Yes.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, if I keep working on those are the smallest ones, yeah. So I should have a reasonable chance of taking those out eventually with Eldritch Blast.
The capture ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they look more flimsy and kind of light and fleshy compared to the large and otherwise kind of tree trunk thickness tendrils of the lashing ones.
Okay. Right. If I focus on the capture ones, then as we keep circling around this thing and rising up slowly.
Okay.
And
So-
then Bern can do whatever he wants.
Go ahead and make me 3 attack rolls then, please. I'll say this is against 3 separate tendrils. They all hit.
Yeah, not great damage.
What is your add? It's a +5.
+5, so that's
Um.
14.
Okay. So. So +5, so it's +15. So that is 27 damage total. So that will take out the equivalent of. That'll take out 1 tendril. However, 2 are badly injured.
Okay.
As one of your shots
Wow.
otherwise arcs forward, as your 3 shots arc forward, each one kind of digging into a portion and then kind of leaving this necrotic mark across the surface, which then withers away. You watch as one of them kind of begins to coil back quickly, retreating inside before the end of it kind of disconnects off and falls to the ground below. 2 of the others kind of react in the same way, but they're still intact, but they're damaged. Don't have a lot of hit points, and they're not necessarily difficult to hit either. They're a little bit dexterous, but outside of that,
Okay.
they can be hit.
Right, and then Felipe is going to follow up on the same group.
Go ahead. What's
I
Felipe's
assume
added?
that one misses.
That one misses. What's the added for this?
+14 for Felipe.
That hits then, yes.
Okay.
So 2 damage rolls. So with a +7 on each, I believe.
+7 on each, so
29.
29 total, so 29.
So with the other damage that you've otherwise done, yeah, that'd be enough to take out another 2 tendrils. Okay. As each of the strikes otherwise hits the otherwise injured ones, the 3 plumes and the 2 feathers kind of sever them, striking through and watching as portions of it disconnect. 3 of the captured tendrils have been taken care of and dealt with. Okay.
Okay.
That is your
And-
pre-action, because that was I'd say that would be your held action from your reaction taking place before your turn.
Okay.
So if you wish to go ahead and take your turn now.
Okay, cool. I mean, we're moving for the most part.
Yeah.
Trying to stay on this thing's blind-ish side.
Okay. Flying around and otherwise trying to stay on that same side, keeping it, kind of kiting it, as it's rather large and slow. You otherwise begin to travel round the side and up a bit, you said. Do you wish to fly
Yes.
parallel to the ship at this point, or... And at what distance?
We're still under it, right?
Well, it depends on where you wish to fly. Do you wish to fly slightly under it, slightly over it, parallel to it? Due to your speed of Felipe, you can close that gap to 0. Like, Felipe can fly
right
up
up,
and
yeah.
land on the edge, given the speed that Felipe has. Alternatively, you can keep your
Get
distance.
on top of it as 2 people.
You
Yeah,
don't know
we
the
don't know
damage
how
you've
much.
done to the crew, so... You know, you
Oh,
saw bodies
true,
fall off the
still.
edge, but
The amount of damage we've taken as well.
this is true. So what's the choice on where you'd like to be?
Where we'd like to be, I think I'm going to take a risk and get us up above so we can see the deck.
You otherwise fly up. How far are you keeping away from the edge of the ship?
Well, I've got a pretty good range, so like 80 feet.
80 feet away on the left? Okay. With that, otherwise flying up and kind of over slightly to the edge, you can see the large shell that is cracked, and with your dark vision you see perfectly across the surface of this. You see a large number of corpses that are otherwise lying on the top, and you see what looks to be a few figures otherwise kind of standing there. One in particular, otherwise a shorter figure, kind of standing next to what look to be two mind flayers that are always collapsed on the ground. There's one figure kind of standing there, kind of... It's short, otherwise slightly folded exterior to it of a relatively bulbous form, with what looks to be large grooves that carve into it almost these spiral-like patterns across its form. A large staff that otherwise reaches up with small orbs at the end of it, and that otherwise does kind of... as it does notice your presence as you go up over the edge, seeing it at this point.
So injured but still standing.
Injured but still standing, yeah.
Doesn't look like a civilian that's been caught up, so I don't have time to take questions. I also don't have spell slots to do anything fancy, so I'm just going to unload on this figure.
Okay.
Say the line, Warlock.
Yes, I cast Eldritch Blast.
Yay!
Make me 3 attack rolls then, please.
I'm hoping at least some of those hit. Otherwise, I'm going to cry.
All of them hit. However, as its reaction, you watch as it otherwise looks up. As each of the 3 Eldritch Blasts flies towards it, you watch as it lift. You watch as it looks over to one side, raises its hand, and you watch as it swaps places. As you watch as one of the corpses is there, and each of the Eldritch Blasts hits it, disintegrating the top torso of one of the corpses. As it otherwise stands there, otherwise unharmed by your Eldritch Blast attacks.
That's fine. Felipe has, assuming he can act as well.
Yes, Felipe can as well, because Felipe didn't
Yeah, it's
dash
fine. He
to
has a
get hit.
better to hit.
Oh no. Yes, the wonderful damage that this has already done. Go ahead and roll for me. There are a few others on the ship that are otherwise up, but they seem to be wounded in a state of on the ground.
Nothing.
Oh boy.
D10 for that.
Yep, they all hit. Oh boy. That is 2 9s and 2 10s. With his plus 21, that is 59 points of damage. That is a big number.
That is a very big number.
That is a very big number.
Yeah. Now, if this guy dies, I can see if my guess was right.
Yeah, he's down.
Who
Yeah.
died?
Yeah.
Just swapped places.
The one who just swapped places, yeah, as your 3 Eldritch Blasts otherwise streak out, striking against the surface of the corpse. Felipe kind of follows up, swinging forward with his wings. The 3 plumes fly towards the individual as he otherwise hunkers over. Each of the 3 pierce him into the surface of the deck as you watch as portions of his body begin to bleed heavily in this kind of thick, viscous yet silvery black blood.
Oh no, it's unicorn blood.
Okay.
Kind of blood?
Kind of a thick, almost silvery black, reflective blood.
Okay. And that's the surface. That's the deck cleared.
That's the deck cleared of individuals, yes. You see that there are a few individuals who are otherwise still alive, but very unconscious.
Yeah, I'm not so concerned about.
But outside of that, they all look very varying levels of mind flayer-ish. Other individuals kind of looking humanoid, but with extra limbs. This individual is probably the most humanoid looking out of all of them.
Oh, did he take damage from the previous? Like my...
Yeah, the entire surface of the deck was wiped out by your ethereal incineration.
Oh, so he took some damage from it as well.
He took some damage from it as well, yeah. And only those on the inside who aren't affected by the full cover nature of it were protected. Just for reference, this is the dude that you took out.
Jesus, he looks ugly as shit.
Oh damn!
Don't say that
Sorry,
about
I
my
haven't seen
boy.
more from in action.
It's fine. I got 2 more under here.
It's fine.
I didn't see
The
it.
skull on his
Two more
stomach
of
as
them or
well.
two
That's
different
pretty
kinds?
cool.
2 more of
Oh,
them.
oh God! I recognise this thing. So I don't know how.
Oh no.
Oh, well, he comes in a group photo with the red guy, so I'm surprised you don't recognize him.
Group
Hey, look,
photo?
it's Uncle Bad Tuck.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
he comes in
They're
a group.
big boys.
He comes in a group photo with the big boys and 2 of the others as well. Notably, one of the small ones on the ground.
I'm thinking term of foes sort of thing.
They
I
don't
didn't
have.
look close enough at these guys' faces before.
Mordenkainen's Tome
Yeah.
of Foam.
Tome of
Yeah.
Foam.
These little whap.
Foam of time.
Foam of Tome. Yeah.
Different, but different thing. That the foam of time.
Yeah.
You
I will
get
say.
foam, you
I
just
will
pull
say.
books out of it.
I will say. I'll go through what these are later for those who do know. That's fine. And you'll also know that unfortunately there is no art of them. You have to look for it. Like
Ugh.
the earliest
that's-
edition. The earliest edition of these creatures is 3.5. So you can't find it before. You can't find it before. Well, you can find the rough art before, but there's no. When they were introduced in other books in 4th and 5th, they don't have pictures, which is a shame.
Oh, these things,
Painful.
the ones that
These things, yeah, the large things and some of the small things as well. So, Queglod, I believe that is your turn.
Yeah, unless Felipe has any movement to get us closer. That would
Felipe, due to the fact of keeping the distance kind of going up and kind of coasting a bit, it's a bit difficult.
that's fine. That's fine.
So, with that being the end of your turn, it is now the Illithid's turns. Let's see, do they get their psychic screams back? Yes, and oh yes, oh no.
they get their what back?
They both got their psychic screams back. Or
Wait,
mind
psychic
mind
The
blast.
9th level spell?
Mind blast, I should specifically say.
I mean, it's
I was
not
about to
that
say,
much difference.
9th level spell?
No. It's different for them. So this is a 60-foot
Not
cone.
that bad.
So
Someone who's been looking into mind flayers. It's a bad time.
it is going. Each of
As
them.
someone who has almost killed his players with mind flares, they're a good time.
No. Oh, no.
Right. We will start with this first one. Each
They're
creature in the area
danger.
must make an intelligence saving throw or
That
take
includes the
psychic
big guy.
damage to be stunned. Yep, that does include the big guy. You are correct, because he's not immune to psychic damage. Big guy meets the DC with his minus on his intelligence.
How? I get the sense this guy should not actually be able to
Nope.
pass intelligence saving throws.
No,
but he
shouldn't.
is.
No, he isn't. It's actually better if I don't, and you'll see why in a moment.
Does he have a -5 to his?
He does have a fail against the second one. So he succeeds against one, fails against the other.
So it's better if he succeeds?
It's better if he fails.
Oh, if he fails.
Yeah.
For us or for them?
It's better for them if he fails.
Oh, okay, so it's good for us that he succeeded.
It's good for you that he succeeded, yeah, because all of this psychic damage he's taking is being reflected to all creatures within 30 feet.
I'm glad Mindsliver didn't.
Yeah, he's not immune to
Didn't.
psychic, he reflects it, which is even worse. Hold on, is it?
Does he-
No,
does he-
10
does
feet,
he
not
still-
30 feet, sorry.
Does he still take the damage?
No.
Or... So he is immune.
So he's immune.
He's
with
immune
extra bullshit.
with extra steps, yeah. If
Oh,
the Hulk
'cause is
takes
this the thing
psychic
that-
damage,
is
each creature
this
within
the
10
thing?
feet of the Hulk takes the damage instead. The Hulk takes none of the damage. In addition, the Hulk's thoughts and locations can't be discerned by magic.
Chris, is this the thing that you were worried about yesterday?
No, this is one of the minions thing
Oh,
that I'm
God.
worried about. And I got 2 more of these under my veil over there in case I need them. So,
Eh.
so
it's not high now, no.
starting with Marie Jen, that's a natural 18 and natural 20. She succeeds on both. Shen, natural 15, natural 20. They're doing well. Omen has a -4. Natural 6 and natural 14, so Omen's taking both of these. However, Shen is going to take the damage 4 because he is a mounted combatant.
Are these guys immune?
These guys are immune, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're immune to the effect because these guys are immune to psychic, so they're unaffected. It's just him who's not. He combos really well with Illithids and the guy that Queglod just killed, because that guy can attack him and do a ton of damage around this guy.
Shit.
They beautifully work together. The individuals on the inside, you succeed both. Good. Now, do they take half damage or no damage on a success? I want to say it's no damage. Yeah, if they
Leave
succeed...
it's no damage.
Yeah, there's no damage. So that'll be good to know for each of these, because it's just Shen's mount that's taking damage here. The other individual who I need to worry about as well passes the first check and passes the second check with flying colours. So, with that, the only person taking damage is Shen and the big guy.
Big boy.
So,
If you want to fucking die.
this would be... So Shen takes...
Here's a question. You said this thing was like kind of in charge here. Is it only in charge because the mind flayers can't do shit to it?
No, Omen needs to take all the damage, unfortunately, because otherwise Shen goes down.
That's not good.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Okay, Omen is stunned, and yeah, Shen's looking rough now. Oh, and that's before all the mirror. Okay. The psychic damage that's going to mirror off of the second hit. Ooh. 22 points of psychic damage, which mirrors to everyone around. Shen and Omen are down as they fall unconscious.
Wait, so it deals the damage he takes to everyone?
To everyone within 10 feet of him.
Oh, everyone. Jeez.
Yeah, no
I
saving.
thought it was split.
Oh, no. No, it's just everyone.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, and these individuals, they're fine. They have more hit points to go. Okay. And that's both of theirs. No, then he's not dead. He's making death saves at this point. But these guys are wanting to kill him, it seems. This dude is going to float over 20 feet, and this one's going to reposition himself also. With that being their turn over, it begins with your tavern mates' turns, because they rolled poorly on their initiative.
We have lots of them, so let's hope they can do stuff.
So, yes, you do. So hopefully you have some that are going to be able to pull their weight here. Okay. Starting off with who you have here. You watch Elsyan from down the street. Looking down the street, you see what looks to be a individual taking swings against this guy. You recognize that to be Marie. That's 2 very good hits. With her weapon of choice,
Yeah.
with a war pick. That is 2 good hits. Okay, that thing takes a sizable amount of damage. That thing. Stat block takes... This is the red one, so it's down to that. That is her turn. Shen is down. That is a death saving throw for Shen. He succeeds. Omen does not. So Omen in one more will die. However, he is a Beastmaster Ranger, so he gets to bring Omen back if Omen does die. Yes, the Fabled class, which no one plays. The next individual of note... Do I have his tile on the board? Ah, yes, I do. Now Griol rushes up. He's going to take 3 swings against it. That is... natural 20 and 2 other hits. Which means... No, he doesn't have Great Weapon Master. However, this is with his halberd, which he has already invoked. So he's going to do a ton of damage. Natural 20 doing... I'm going to Savage Attacker that. Much better. 6 plus... nope, 26 damage to that thing. And then...
It has been an hour and 30 minutes, and I have yet to take a turn.
Harlan.
This has been a time check.
This has been your time check.
This has been your time check. Alright. And then the other 2 hits, he gets the added plus onto that, so... Doop. 12, 13, 18, 28. Okay, doing some good damage against that thing. Leaving it on that many hit points. It's looking rough as it takes the hits. Followed up behind him I get to make 4 attacks with advantage against that thing. And yep, and I'm going to pump Divine Smites into all of that to kill this thing. As you watch as Maverick wanders around the corner and with each of his hammers swings in divine energy flowing from each, kind of rippling backwards as light shatters into this thing, knocking it down onto the ground as it collapses downwards. Okay.
Wait, Maverick.
Maverick's tile he's currently here. I
Ah,
can get him an Ambero tile. I have
he's
one
D&D.
available.
I thought he was a dwarf.
No, he's an Ambero Smith. Oh wait, no, I have a tile for him. I just need to get it from down here. Here it is. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah, as he takes the swings against that. And as a bonus action, he is going to cast Healing Word on Shen to bring Shen back up on 4 hit points. Actually, no, I have to roll still for that. Yeah, on 4 hit points.
let's hope these guys don't attack Shen.
End of your tavern keeper's or your tavern friend's turn. It is the Grew's turn. This Grew is going to rush over and begin attacking your guests. This one, seeing what's going to happen, is going to, or seeing what's happened here, is going to use. It's going to trigger its Aura of Madness.
Back in a sec.
Okay.
Aura of Madness? That doesn't sound good.
Aura of Magnus, you say?
Magnus, yes. And this one is going to attack. That one's going to attack Omen. Omen is dead. There's a auto crit on the hit. Okay.
Oh, Omen is dead.
Omen is dead. However, Omen is again the Beastmaster Ranger pet,
Oh,
so
he
he can
can't
bring
summon
it
it
back.
back. Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to 50
okay.
gold. Yeah. That is
That's
still
not
his.
quite as
That
bad
is
as I
still
thought it was.
that is still his mount and a Displacer Beast down in this conflict. Okay. Sasha, it is your turn.
Yes. Wait, am I actually still? Oh, okay.
So, Sasha, you are up here. You just enter the forge now.
Sasha's gonna
Right.
go.
I want to know exactly where I was before everything started because I never said I was going inside. I was saying I wanted to help.
Okay, so in which case you'd be here. Elsyan and Delman have run down this side of the tavern.
I can't see where you have placed a tile or anything.
Up the top here. All the way at the top in your tavern area.
Oh, we're in the tavern. Oh God.
Yeah, this is where Rook is. He's run into the tavern because he's looking for people to help. Elsyan and Delman ran along the side here, and you can probably, if you wanted to, you could catch up with them. And that would be your movement to catch up with Delman and all that. Alternatively, you see behind you there's Malcom currently trying to take off chains, and you see Queglod and Bern up above you, or far above you now, so you probably wouldn't be able to see them.
Right. What can I see from where I am currently, and what can I hear?
From what you can see in here, you can see that the tower has always been collapsed and destroyed. The roof of of your tavern is on fire, but you can't see any interior fires from this angle. If there are, they would be further on the opposite side of the building, which is closer towards the guest quarters or to your servants' quarters. So you could just see a little bit of light flame. You can't see any smoke otherwise coming out from the lower floor, so there's no interior fires from there. Outside of that, you can hear the sounds of fighting on the opposite side of the tavern, and the groan of a nautiloid overhead.
Right. Can I see the nautiloid seeing as there's
You can
holes in
see
my
the
tavern?
massiveness of it, yes. It's a difficult sight, but you can see it.
And it counts as both a creature and a vehicle where appropriate.
Correct. It is also 200 feet in the air.
200 exactly.
Roughly. You don't know the exact parameters of how far up it is, but 200 is a guess. You can make an intelligence check to get an exact measurement if you want.
No, that doesn't matter to me. I need to. This is going to sound strange, but here's a special tool we may require later. I'm going to be staring at this thing for a second, and branding every single detail I can of it into my mind. every single bit of part of it that I can see. I am branding everything I can see into my head so that I know this thing. Okay?
Okay, go ahead and make me a history check. The DC is going to be a total DC, because glancing at something for 6 seconds is not necessarily going to give it all of you. So you're going to over multiple turns need to make a total DC to match its to match the knowledge of intake.
Oh, bollocks.
Okay.
When
So
I said glance, when you said 6 seconds, I wasn't intending this to be my entire turn, but if that's what it takes,
if it's
just wanna
glance,
check
if it's glance as in you want to go, okay, bonus action, look up, see it, that would be fine, but you won't be able to take in detail. If you want to take in detail, you're going to need to stand there and try and memorize it, because
right.
as someone who works in retail, you don't remember a person's face if they walk past you over a second. So
Yeah, fair. I'm trying to think if there's a better way to do this. Yeah, no, I'm just going to be glancing because I don't have the time to properly plan this
Okay.
out.
So in this situation,
you
wouldn't be able to pick up on too much detail.
Yeah. Okay. Just if there's any defining feature about it, is there anything I notice, or
It's
is it just
smouldering and made of flesh?
smoldering and made of flesh? Lovely. Right. In that case, all I can do is try and use an action to like mess things around a little bit. You said it's 200 feet up, yeah?
About that, yeah.
Right. No, that one's fine. That one. Still focusing on Holy Weapon for Rook, so any damage Rook deals will be, but it doesn't really matter right now.
True, but it is now a concentration.
This is a really weird one. I don't suppose this thing's big enough that it counts as ground, does it?
I would say no, given it's flying in this instance.
Worth a try. Earthquake is my only spell that has enough range to fuck with this thing.
Yeah,
and I
no,
somehow
wouldn't
think
say that would work.
as much as using Earthquake on it would be hilarious, doesn't quite work.
No.
In that case, all I can do is try and run further into the building, and hope, because I don't know these guys are here, do I?
You heard telepathically from Elsyan that there is a flesh monster, a skinless flesh monster, and various enemies out the front of the tavern.
Oh, in that case, can I just how close can I get to here?
If you wanted to spend the time going there, given you hesitated, I'd say your movement would get you around here. So you wouldn't be able to see, but you'd be able to otherwise join Delman in this position. You could spend your action to dash if you wanted to.
No, I'm not going to do that yet. Delman's looks pretty rough, right?
It looks like he's taken damage, yeah, but you don't know what from.
Okay, you look damaged. How can I heal you?
Don't worry about me.
Oh, fuck you. You've got a kids, and we kind of need a fucking powerful wizard right now. So tell me how to heal you. You shit.
Normal ways.
Hey, I'm a powerful wizard.
I'm going to pump a.
Genji intensifies.
I'm pumping a. This is going to sound really weird. A 5th level cure wounds into this guy.
Go ahead and roll.
That should be how many D? Is that 5d8 or 6d8?
5d8 plus your spell ability modifier.
5d8. 5d8. Uh, 28.
28 healing. Okay, takes one up to 130.
Get fucking healed. Meh. Also, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm your niece-in-law, I think.
We've already met.
I know, but it was kind of under the assumption that we were going to have to kill him.
We probably still are.
You hear the shout of comms
Love you, Elsyan.
from Delman, otherwise trying to clear up the mental
Comms.
which is being split between everyone. Okay, back to the top round. It is Delman's turn. Delman is going to... He is going to Step out. 5, 10, 15. Oh, he doesn't have any good spells that don't do psychic damage. No, he does. He's going to cast a 4th level fireball to hit these two. Would that hit buildings as well? No, not from this range. So, dex saves on the Mind Flayers. Do they have magic resistance? Yes, they do. What's their dex save? Not good. Alright, well, the blue one fails. And the green one fails. Alright, 9d6. Oh, starting with 2 1s. And then 2 2s. It's going to get easy to calculate at this rate. 6, 8, 13, 19, and 24 points of fire damage to each of the Mind Flayers. Okay. Blue one takes 24. And the red one and the green one takes 24. Okay. 2 of them get hit by the fireball as it otherwise detonates in the street. You watch as these 2 otherwise hit. The flesh monster begins to smolder and burn as he otherwise steps back into the alleyway, as they seem to have noticed his presence. But not yours, Elsyan. So, with that, end of Delman's turn. Rook. What is Rook doing in this situation, Malcom?
Well, I mean, I'm
What you
pretty sure
mentioned
he's
last
still
time.
gonna be. Yeah, he's just gonna be trying to look for people,
30,
try and get them out.
40. Okay. Heading through here, you see that the doors that do kind of naturally swing open and close, he can push open as a bonus action if you want.
Sure. I mean, he's gonna check here, see if there are people in here. If not, then run up the step,
Okay.
run towards the steps.
He pushes open the door. You can see that the double door is otherwise open and that there are some people kind of backed in here, and that there is kind of like a mini barricade set up of tables and chairs, and there are a number of people who are otherwise huddling in the building.
Does it look mostly like it's our guests?
It looks like
or-
most of them, but you don't know if it's all of them.
Hmm. Uh, I'm not really sure exactly what to do, so I'm gonna roll this d20. If it's 11 or above, he's going to stay down here and go towards the door here.
Okay. In the specific nature of what he said, he wanted to particularly get everybody out of the tavern in the previous message that he told me. So
Yeah,
I'd
everybody,
say so he'd probably be heading up the stairs to see if there's
Yeah,
to clear
okay.
it out.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah,
10,
heading up the steps.
20, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You can get to there. Okay. Running down the corridor, getting ready to run up the stairs. Okay. With that is Rook's turn. Bern. You are currently floating above the deck. Everything on the deck itself has been cleared out. If there is anything still alive, it's definitely unconscious, and you can see that a large portion of the ship has been damaged. You are 80 feet away from it.
50 feet. What's the second most damaged thing of the ship?
There are
You said the shell and the hull were damaged, right?
The shell and the hull are damaged. The shell, it seems to be the most damaged, but it seems to be made of a very hardy material. You don't know whether you'll do damage to it. Yeah. General mechanics that you understand is that certain pieces of a ship have a damage threshold. Unless you can exceed it, it doesn't take that damage.
Okay.
So,
But if you exceed it, does it take the whole thing, or?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So the nature of it being that effectively it's negated if you roll below certain values. The shell looks more hardy than the hull, but both look like they're durable.
Okay. Yeah. And all of them are treated as creatures, like separate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're all the shell is more considered as a structure, whereas the hull is considered a creature.
Yeah, I'm just asking because if I have a spell which is like a target creature, can I use it on the shell?
If it would do damage, I'll allow it.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, because the shell does have some damage immunities.
Okay. Hmm. This is where the problem comes if I have no damaging spells below 6th level. Shit. Okay. And the hull is just normal, or does that have a threshold as well?
All hulls have a threshold. However, the threshold could be anywhere between 1 damage and 100, depending on what it's made of. It's made of flesh, which is fairly squishy, so it's probably a low threshold. Like the Zaratan class ship, which was made of hardwood, had a threshold of 30, I believe, or 20. So
Yeah.
the scale's fairly low, but yeah.
This is where all comes down to shit. Can I catch all the fuck. I can't do anything.
What
Is
do you
that
wanna
most of the stuff on the ship is killed?
On the surface of the ship is either unconscious or dead, yes.
Okay. That's the case. I will. Oh, I guess I'll use 5th level fireball then.
On what?
On the hull.
Okay. Dex save. No. What's your DC?
23.
Can it succeed? On a natural 20, no. So I don't roll. Just roll damage.
Let me just check.
It's a
I was
ship.
about
It
to
can't
ask.
dodge it.
I was about how would I have a dex save?
It has a dex save of -3, so because it's slightly more dexterous than a regular ship, so it hasn't got a -4. It's got a -3.
10d6.
It's not as
Totally
bad as.
fireball.
Can I target this so it hits any other part or no?
Given the cluster of it, you can either target the shell, which is one large bit, the hull, which is one large bit, or you could target a cluster of things like the tendrils. But given the
So
nature
I
of
can't hit both the shell and the hull at the same time.
no, you can't,
Okay.
because of the nature of how you'd be trying to damage a main portion of it. The lashing tendrils are on the opposite sides. You can't hit those because you've destroyed your broadside.
Yeah.
And the same with the hollow tendrils. The capture tendrils are underneath, and you're specifically flying slightly above it, so you can't hit those either. So it's either hull or shell here.
Shell have I'll take the risk. I'll go for the shell.
Okay, go ahead and roll me the damage for that, then, please.
That's 10d6. This is 9.
It's 5th level.
5th level is 10d6.
Yep. 5th level fireball.
And I will use the thingy.
Okay, the one to re-roll 5 of the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not 5. It's
Those were pretty shitty rerolls.
the
not gonna lie.
2 and the 3 and this 3 are the last ones. So that's probably the next one.
Oh, wow.
It went up by 3 points, so 27. As you fire off the fireball, the edge of the shell, you watch as the fire crackles across the surface of it. The shell is otherwise unharmed.
So it's higher than that.
I'll say with that, you guess that it doesn't seem to be immune, as the fire does flicker across the surface of it. It does do kind of nicks and burns, but it is more durable than that, despite it being damaged. Okay, is that the end of your turn?
I just need to check something in my descriptions. I haven't used it at all.
Okay, Elsyan, get ready. It is. Oh wait, no, sorry, I skipped to Malcom. So yes, Malcom, you can do that. So Delvin will make his way towards you and begin helping you get the chains off.
Okay, it's an action. Cool.
Elsyan, you'll be up next, so get ready.
As a bonus action, I'll pop a heartbeat into Queglod.
Okay.
Oh, no, I can't do that. Never mind.
You can't?
I used the spell already.
Heartbeat's a cantrip.
Oh, you can use cantrips?
Yeah.
Can you use a cantrip in a spell?
You can use a cantrip and a spell, yeah. It's just you can't use 2 spells in a turn.
Okay, cool. I'll use a heartbeat on
Okay, go ahead. All this time, Bern's just been not doing cantrips because he thinks he can't.
That's 12 plus your con mod.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
That's temporary hit points, and that will last for 1 round, so it's just a minus.
Yeah, until the end of
how
her turn.
much damage? Yeah.
Or until the end of my
End
turn.
of your next turn, yeah.
Okay.
So, Elsyan, you're up now.
Just double checking. 1 range for 1 spell. Nope. Also 60 feet, so I can't hit anything happening over cantrips.
You can move.
And I'm sort of holding on to my spell slots for.
I mean, 60's here to hit this front.
I know, but over here is where I need to be going.
You hear Malcom say in the through the very telepathic bond that he's asking Delman for help to get the chains off so he can come with you. Delman is now turning around and heading towards Malcom.
I'm gonna let it know. I'm gonna. Oh god, this is stupid. I'm gonna go on my own.
Okay.
And I think I'm just gonna dash.
All right.
Dash and go as fast as I can.
All right. For the purposes of this, we will assume you're dashing for the near future.
Until I come across something dangerous, yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Or my mother's dead body.
Yeah. All right. It is the Nautiloid's turn. The Nautiloid, unfortunately, because you are now above it, cannot target you with any of its tendrils.
Oh.
So instead, it is going to.
Yeah.
It is going to send down one of its hollow tendrils, which lands here.
Oh shit. It's right above here? Oh.
Alright. They are now no longer in combat.
Oh wow.
As you watch as one of the large tendrils kind of reaches down, and you watch as it otherwise, almost the large hollow end of it otherwise mats down over top of them, and you watch as there's almost this kind of almost swallowing effect, as this tube, as this kind of orb begins to float up the inside of the tendril, it seems. As it pulls the tendril back, you see that it and a portion of the ground where they stood is gone. Seems to have extracted them for the purposes of this, leaving the sacrificial pieces to fend for themselves.
Okay, so they're redeploying. Or running away.
As it otherwise pulls back up, you watch as it flows up the inside of the hollow tendril, as you watch as it turns, now heading in a particular direction. The helmsman, given the nature of this, you watch as the outside of the ship almost has this faint shimmer around the edge of it, as you watch as this large circular portal appears in front of it, and beyond you see what looks to be a starry black sea and sky, as it is going to use its plane shift to leave the combat.
How far away is the portal?
The portal from you, because you're onto one side and you're 80 feet away from it, the portal is around maybe 150 feet away from you. The ship itself is 80. And due to the nature of it casting plane shift in this situation, there's no way to counterspell unless you've got extended.
It doesn't reach even if I do. It's 120.
120 feet. So you'd be able to hit the ship, however you'd be targeting something you don't know where it is. So I'd say it would be a disadvantage roll without lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have distance spell, so even if I did.
Okay. So in this instance, you watch
I
as
was
the ship...
thinking maybe I could target the portal if it's close by, but...
Yeah, you watch as almost this hyperspace-like effect takes, as it otherwise kind of pulls away the image, leaving almost this after image as it dissipates with one last kind of sound effect, which drones out across the city. Nautiloid has exited the combat, along with the Illithids. I can take them off the initiative, and the Hulk.
The other roars we heard from the city are still there, though, right?
You can't see them, but given the night sky and given the nature of it, you can't see them. You can see there are flames, and you can see that there are vague other things, but that's about it.
Yeah, but we heard them from.
You
other
heard
places.
them, yes.
Yeah.
So, end of its turn. Queglod, it's your turn. The Nautiloid
Okay.
ship dissipates out as it otherwise plane shifts away, closing the portal behind it.
So, given that, if we are in the telepathic bond,
Mhm.
Well, actually, can I see down here?
From this distance, given the height that you are up, I'd say you'd be able to see the tops of the buildings, but outside of that, no. The light kind of, with the nature of going from your perfect dark vision, kind of going and reaching this edge, it goes almost to an immediate black from here. Almost like a render distance.
Okay.
But you know in the direction you'd be heading. And you heard Elsyan say he's going on ahead.
Should we follow Elsyan? Or towards where the screams were?
I mean, I'm relatively confident that we can take this. I don't know how confident Queglod could be, but don't want to let Elsyan go alone. So I'm gonna.
I don't see how that could go wrong.
I mean, we heard the big scream from
I'm also
towards...
aware I am splitting the party. Sorry, guys.
No,
We heard
that's
the
fine.
big scream from towards his mother's tavern, right?
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's where we should go.
Yeah.
That's probably all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heading in
It's
that
up.
way, and with Witch Sight, you managed to locate the invisible Elsyan. If you didn't have Witch Sight, he's great invisibles, which would have been an issue.
Yeet.
But you
Actually,
otherwise
can I-
do fly
We're
down.
quite a bit faster than him.
You are,
Can
yes.
we dive and like pick him up?
I'd
Carry
say
him on
you
with us?
can dash, and with the rare telepathic bond, I'd say you'd be able to announce that you're going to be picking him up.
And I wouldn't be resisting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this
Alright, Elsyan,
instance,
we go the quick way.
okay, swooping down as part of the swoop, Felipe kind of reaches down with one claw, scoops up the invisible Elsyan, as thankfully Felipe can see, and picks up Elsyan, takes off up into the sky above. So you three are now together. So I will put you three all on here. Elsyan is underneath. Okay.
Yeah.
End of that. It'll be these guys' turn. These guys are mad. They just attack anything that's within range. But first, it is your tavern members. Oh, okay, yeah, they're dead.
What did the Aura of Madness do, by the way? Or did
They both succeeded, so Aura of Madness would have meant that they would have disadvantage on everything that's not against them. So basically, they're meat shields. But
we're
with
gonna
their...
use something like Crown of like the...
Oh
Man.
no, it's not Crown of Madness. It's a Aura of Madness. Creatures within 20 feet of the Gru that aren't aberrations have disadvantage on saving throws as well as attack rolls against creatures other than this creature. So actually it's no save, so never mind. In which case, yeah, these two are getting smushed. I'll say he's going this way to take care of this. He's going here to take care of this. I don't even have to roll. These things are dead. There's no way they survive. Shen gets back up. To which point Nagriel will rush down the street, seeing as he saw an errant fireball fly from this direction. So he's going to assume allies. As Sasha, you otherwise hear Nagriel shout back, "Stay with the others! Protect them! I'll find out if the others have returned."
Which others? There's a lot of others!
The others being you guys, but in
Yeah,
this
he's calling back
instance,
to the rest of the tavern.
He's calling back to the rest of the tavern to tell them to stay there and protect people. They wouldn't get a turn, they're dead. So Sasha, at this point, you hear you watch as Elsyan disappears. You watch as you're kind of looking around the edge. You watch as a Felipe swoops down, grabs something invisible, and otherwise shoots off into the sky above. Now out of your vision.
Well, that was weird as shit. I'm coming out over here. Right, who needs to be healed?
Nagriel stops, otherwise points back. Some of the guests are injured. No one's taken though. They tried.
Okay. I'm going inside, or I'm back.
Okay.
Whatever works to get me inside as quickly as possible.
Okay. Given the nature of what happens, as combat has effectively ended here, 5 rounds go by, healing guests using various healing magic, with the aid of Maverick being a low-level paladin. He will pump lay on hands into people who need them. So Maverick will help people. Rook scouts out the rest of the tavern, finding that there are still people upstairs. He otherwise gets them out. As Malcom, your chains are removed. 5 rounds of combat have gone by. Elsyan, Queglod, and Bern. As you're otherwise
Mhm.
coasting through the sky, Elsyan's invisibility drops. Given the nature of the duration of it, it's otherwise past.
Yeah, that's it's only a minute.
You're soaring through the sky, heading in a direction towards the center of the city. As you otherwise begin to make good headway, it's clear skies, and you can see below what look to be a large number of guards that have otherwise started fending off similar attacks. You see small groups of these strange grue-like creatures kind of moving to and from, these almost brains with legs moving around and otherwise devouring civilians. This is an attack to a degree, but the nature of it is... it's kind of scattered and sporadic. There are sites around this area where there are no ships nearby, but there seem to be small raiding parties almost, which are quickly being dealt with and fended off. You see Phoenix members and guards working side by side to take care of this, along with others. As
Just
you,
shoot off some rare frost as we fly.
as you
Yeah, I'm
otherwise
happy to-
are...
Shoot grunts.
Yeah, as Felipe's the only one who really needs to dash, you otherwise shoot off supporting magic. As you are coasting along, Elsyan, you, with the highest intelligence score here, feel it first. Out of all of them. As you do kind of coast closer, you feel this dense pressure in magic all of a sudden, and it's almost as if you're going to slip, like vertigo happens, and there's a moment where you kind of quickly scramble and grab hold of Felipe, as you feel this strange presence almost press down upon you, before you feel almost this invasive thought enter your mind. Are you,
Invasive thoughts into my mind.
yes, evasive thought into your mind.
Can I tell if it's a friendly invasive thought? Or...
Make me an intelligence save. This will be the nature of whether you, if you can discern what might be causing this.
Intelligence save.
Save, yes.
Okay, so that's just intelligence.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, that is it's just a 27.
27.
Fucking hell, I've got good intelligence.
That
Hope I have
fail-
good.
With a
That
20,
fails. Fuck.
No, with a 27, you just barely pass, which is the worst part.
What?
As you are otherwise coasting along, you feel this pressure, and you feel something almost insert itself into your mind, as you hear, Elsyan Aleuir, I presume.
Yes, and to whom do I have the pleasure?
I must thank you for what you've done.
Oh.
I believe you can guess who I am now.
Ah, yes. You didn't come to the wedding. I was a little annoyed, to be honest.
Let's say I was late. I have left a gift at your tavern, though.
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
you
sorry
have.
about the damage your little friend, Abod, was it? Tried to stop us.
I'm not surprised. I know you're a god, but when I find you, I will be hurting you. I want it known.
I am not the god.
You're not? Oh, good.
No.
Good.
But I am still a
Nothing.
mask.
An aspect, an avatar, a little bitch gonna get his mind blown up.
You really think taunting me is a good idea?
Honestly, it's all I have. I'm low in spell slots. I'll let you know that for free.
I know. I also know that all of your friends are far away from here, slightly further from you. And I also know that they're the weaker targets.
Oh, you have got us so wrong. Like the entire party bursts out.
Then how about I prove it to you?
Is there a way like I can like subtly like just send this like through the telepathic bond, this conversation, just so the rest of the party?
Say, go ahead
Can I
and
do like an
make me
Arcana check?
I'll say go ahead and make me an Arcana check versus his spell save DC.
Oh, there we go. That is an 18.
That fails.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You try to transmit this, but as you kind of do, the rest of you hear kind of this crackling static for a moment before this high-pitched ringing, almost like feedback, as you all kind of squint for a moment, the rest of you feeling this presence. As Elsyan, you kind of get this sense that he knows you tried this.
Ah, well.
Looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson. Your little
Okay.
friends within the city have tried, and I'm surprised that more damage wasn't done by your entrance, but One ship is still salvageable.
I'll take down the rest.
I look forward to it. But I guess I'll leave a parting gift at your home, shall I? Given your little taunt in your games that you want to play, I think it's about time that I make sure that you know what you're messing with. After all, your uncle, your new wife, and some of your friends are still there. Your mother is one thing, but I have no interest in her.
Yeah, good to know.
You have given me 3 more that I can use, though.
Can I insight this just to make sure that that this isn't just a bluff to make me not go to Mum?
Go ahead.
That is a 14.
He's hard to read, and given it's telepathic, it's hard to tell. You get almost a slight urgency and a want to return to Sasha, knowing that if he is telling the truth, Sasha's the target. If he's not telling the truth, your mother's probably the target. It's a difficult 50-50.
Okay, right. I know that my mother has those guards, and they're pretty beefy, but I probably do a decent job protecting her. But I know Sasha is very difficult to kill. Because as we all know, I sit there. I don't sit there. I presume I'm still like in Felipe's claw. I just sort of think for a moment. Yeah, that's one thing about Sasha. She just doesn't die.
That will change. Don't worry. I look forward to you attending her funeral.
I wish for Sasha never to die. No.
You feel the pressure lift suddenly and differently.
I'm going to use the telepathic bond to just send the message. Right. All those at the tavern, watch out. Something's coming your way. Sasha, dear, be careful.
Yes, love? Oh, don't worry.
And remember, Sasha, just don't die.
Noted.
Okay. At the
Kisses,
tavern?
and I will speak to... And we'll make sure we're all alive later.
Okay.
Will do.
Parties.
You die, I will bring you back, but I will take the piss out of you for it.
Gotcha.
If you guys get into trouble, say so immediately. It'll take us time to get back there.
Well, as you have travelled about 2 minutes at this point. So, I just need to add Delman to this initiative as well. So, at this point, as the rest of you are at the tavern, where would you like to be positioned? Malcom, you have the chains off. Delman has helped you with that. Rook has gone through the building and cleared the entire thing out. Where would you like yourselves to be positioned at the moment? And what is your current plan of action? You haven't received this message yet.
Can we move the fake us out of here, please? It's very confusing. You know, the in like the main area and because we've got a lot of various things of people that aren't actually in here.
There you go.
It's very hard to tell.
Oh god, we're dead. We're dead. All of us. It's a TPK.
Fake user dead. So where would you like to be? Keep in mind that you can be in the tavern or outside the tavern. Currently, the tavern is still burning, by the way.
I mean, look, okay. First of all, fire. I'll be honest. Sasha's not that concerned, honestly. Doesn't affect Sasha. So I'll be coming in and healing people. I will tell Rook, you know, deal with the fire and the everything, rubble. If there's anyone trapped under there, make sure you're careful. Angus, I'm gonna need a lot of eggs over here.
So, where would you like to be? Are you sheltering with everyone inside then, Sasha?
I mean, I know that Omen isn't here. And if Chen's managed to can summon him back in a minute.
It's going to take him an hour. It's an hour ritual.
Okay, so Fang, Sheba. Are all of these people in here, or are they in specific places?
This is the. Assume everybody is either in here or just outside the door.
Right. I'm going to be in the main room, in like healing people and getting them up and running. I'm going to say I'm only doing minor heals, like first and second level spell slots. because there's only so much I can do, you know?
Okay, so expend all your first and all your second. Because there are a lot of people who are injured from this.
Yep. Alternatively, I could go for a mass heal, but even that now only covers a few people. Yeah, I'll just be going first and second levels to make sure people are not going to die.
Okay.
I'm more concerned about people, like, if someone's just got a fucking scratch, or they're bleeding a little bit, that's not a thing. I'd be using healing to stop people who are, like, significantly injured,
Yeah.
and then doing medicine checks for everyone else.
So, with that, Malcolm, what are you doing in this scenario?
Well, I was going to be turning into a dragon to put out the fire because it's the easiest way for me to do so. And
What kind of dragon?
white. I was just
Oh,
use
okay, you're going to
frostbite.
extinguish it with frost breath. Okay. I'll allow it.
Yeah. But what I am gonna do is I am gonna use Guardian of Nature on myself first, just to because I can't cast spells while I'm in.
Keep in mind that it lasts a minute.
It lasts an hour.
Guardian of
I
Nature.
believe. Oh, it is a minute. Oh, I thought it was longer. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm not using Guardian of Nature. I thought it was an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll just turn into a white dragon and go up and start
Putting out the fires. Okay.
putting out fire.
Where would you like Rook to be?
I presume Rook is going to be going to wherever Gabby is and making sure Gabby's okay.
That's true. So Rook would be out of this then. He'd be kind of he'd be working with Delmond to get along the streets, I'd say, at this point. So Delmond and Rook are on their way to a separate area.
It makes the most sense, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Okay, this leaves Sasha on her own. This is going to be fun. I can remove Rook and Delmond from this initiative roll. I can also remove Malcom, so it's just Sasha.
Wait, why did we send Delman out? Why is Delman going out?
He's going to check on his sister, because
His sister.
because his sister.
Yes. Okay.
So in this
Fuck it.
instance, as you're helping the individuals in the tavern, you watch as the front door otherwise opens, and you watch as everyone around you fades to nothingness. You watch as all the individuals around you fall unconscious, collapsing to the ground before their bodies almost seem to phase out as you see a figure walk in. Humanoid in torso and legs, muscular to a degree, wearing this large, almost brown, rough, almost poncho fabric shawl that goes over the shoulders and down to near the elbows.
Great. It's the
You
shawl.
You see almost a tattered, almost waist skirt or kilt with a skull hanging from the center. As you see the individual step in, these large, almost blue-colored arms which come to these kind of curved stumps at the end. You see a massive, almost framed jaw with almost this bone protrusion and tendrils that otherwise hang from the lower chin. A massive grin from above the reinforcement and an exposed brain, but no eyes. As the individual steps in, you hear a voice. I've been told you're unkillable.
I don't like to brag, but a lot of things have tried. A god once, actually.
Then let's make this a more interesting challenge. Roll me initiative, please.
Bollocks. I blame you for this.
What, blame me?
You have a tile for this thing?
I do.
Mostly Malcolm, if I'm honest.
I will create 2 tiles. The first one for the combat itself,
Natural one.
which I'm going to put over here, and I'm going to put face down. No one turn it over. And the second one,
Getting
which I'm
this-
going to... Oh, no. That is Maverick. The other one I'm going to make larger, and I will show you for dramatic effect.
Okay.
Back in effect. Come on. Come on.
Right.
Show us this.
So,
show us
that was a
this.
natural one on your part, Sasha.
My initiative is not high.
So that's a -5, I believe, because 1, -1, -5.
Was it a natural
is-
one or was it just a flat one?
It's a natural one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You're in danger.
This creature's
Okay,
initiative.
we've established before nat ones don't in fact make you skip around as
No.
much as I'm
No,
sure
they don't
Chris would
make
like.
they don't make you skip around. It just means you have -5 to initiative because it's an ability check.
Mm.
So it does mean you have a -5 for the purposes of everything else.
That pretty much puts you.
So in this
at the bottom of the
instance, he will be
initiative.
going first, as he does step in with everybody else unconscious around you, kind of lying on the floor. There's a moment of uneasiness as you feel your heart almost begin to beat, pumping faster and faster. You feel almost motionless and lightly scared in this instant. Everyone's spamming. Okay.
This is gonna go badly. Come on, Chris. Fucking
All right,
do it.
everyone, we got to do this synchronized.
Are you ready?
Clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise.
Are you ready, everyone?
Yes.
Huh? What's up? Oh, sorry, I just got back.
That's fine. It's currently Sasha in a single combat versus something that was meant that I thought could TPK a party, so this will be fun.
Oh, was this the thing that you're worried is bullshit?
Oh, this.
Oh no!
As you
my
watch as two portions of the lower arm split, large teeth extending from each, and a large, almost tendril from the back of the head extends outward with teeth razor lining the edge of it, as it looks at you, Sasha.
Fucking no move.
Let's take
I was just
this
thinking
one.
that.
Let's take this one outside, shall we? And as that happens, you watch as the material realm around you disappears, becoming a black void entirely.
Actually, I may have bigged you up a bit too much, and I think you're fucked
He
because
is
of me.
going to use his movement to move to this space in front of you. As he does...
Before we begin,
You want to say
can I ask
something
a
in
question?
return?
Yes. Before we begin, I want to make one thing very clear to you. You can hurt me. You may even manage to kill me. But that won't stop me from ripping your fucking spine out and shoving it up your ass. Am I clear?
I look forward to seeing you try.
Yes, looking at you, I'm not even sure you have a spine.
Okay. So, he is going to perform 3 attacks against you. 2 with his
Of course he
Maulblades
does.
and 1 with his Cranial Splitter.
Terrible. I hate it so much.
First one with the Maulblade. 31 to hit.
That'll just about manage it.
Second one. That is a 22 to hit.
Fails.
Okay. And finally, the Cranial Splitter. That is a 30 to hit.
Just manages,
Okay.
unfortunately. I say just. It's like 5, but
Okay.
you know, still.
When the Maulblade strikes, you watch as one of the large arms with the toothy maw reaches forward, wrapping around you and tearing away from you, almost not leaving physical wounds necessarily, but you watch as portions of you begin to bleed beneath your armor. You take 25 points of magical piercing damage, and I would like you. And what is your charisma save bonus?
+7.
Okay, you can succeed his DC. Go ahead and make me a charisma save, please.
Give me a second. I would take doing the damage first.
Yep, that's fine. However, I believe you can't make the DC from Cranial Splitter.
Well, hopefully I can, but you never know. Come on, die. You failed me once. Let the gods of luck bring me victory on this
You said
day.
it's +7? Okay. Natural 20, you
Suck a
succeed.
dick, Chris.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, that came out. I'm just very
That's
excited
fine.
That was
about that.
very.
You feel as the Maulblade tears away from you, a portion of your spirit holds you in the material realm, as you would feel that you would have been sent elsewhere, but you don't entirely know the extent of it. However, as he reaches forward, you feel this racking sensation across your head as your head almost begins to split. It hits, but you doesn't do any initial damage. Your intelligence save is a -1, correct?
It's a 0, actually.
So even on a natural 20, you cannot beat the DC.
Lovely.
Okay, these are some good rolls. You take 73 points of psychic damage and are stunned for a minute. You may make a save at the end of each of your turns. As you feel the pain rack through your mind, it splits, and you feel almost a portion of the back of your skull crack as your mind hurts and racks against it, blood beginning to drip from your eyes, nose, and mouth, as you are stunned there in perplexion, held in place. That will end its turn. Your turn comes around, you are stunned. Make me a Constitution saving throw, please, to see if the stun ends.
So, I hate to be
It's a
brutal.
17. No, that's not even a 17, that's a 12.
Yep,
Jesus.
that is a fail. You are still stunned. It is going to use
That's
its...
gonna die. Thanks, guys.
It's going to use the first of its legendary resistance or legendary actions to make an attack with its Maulblade. Has advantage because you're stunned. Unfortunately, that's only a 24 to hit, so I believe that misses.
That does miss.
Okay. Due to a recent marriage, you feel the blade almost rake over your armor, but unable to dig in. Okay. His turn comes around. He's going to take...
Hour of whatever we call this relationship.
Yeah, I'm gonna die here, guys. Bye.
You'll be fine. Believe.
24 misses, even with advantage. That's 2 low rolls. That, however, is a 34 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Make
We've
me
already
another.
established I can't.
Make me another charisma saving throw. This is the second Maulblade. I haven't done the cranial splitter yet.
Nah, they ain't gonna do it.
And that fails. Okay. So, the damage you take. 21 points of magical piercing damage. As you otherwise feel almost your presence and extent in the material.
I should have asked this earlier. I'm sorry. I don't suppose this is just it's already happened, so I can't really say it. But would the stun have stopped me from activating an effect of the Heart of Immolation as a reaction?
Yes, because it would have removed your reaction.
Right. Just checking.
Yeah. Good shout, but in this instance, because the Heart of Immolation takes place after the bloody state, it means that you wouldn't be able to react to it.
Yeah.
And
just had to check.
Yeah, and you take 11 points of psychic damage as you feel your body shift as you otherwise stand there. You watch as from this darkscape around you, nails dig up from the ground, piercing the back of your neck, through your mouth, from your hands and your knees, as you feel yourself held to the ground as you are affected by an advanced banishment.
Fun.
In this motion and this moment, there is no way for you to survive, and given the nature of the veil, you are unable to communicate with the rest of your party through cognitive measures. For the purposes of this, Sasha is MIA.
Oh, fuck.
With everyone else where they are, Malcom. You're over top of the tavern as you hear thumping sounds, individuals collapsing. Your immediate reaction as your draconic form is to what?
Well, considering I would have had Featherwing inside, I'd ask Featherwing what's going on.
There is no reply.
I would,
So
how do the fires look?
The fires look like they're going out. They're almost done, but because you have to wait for the recharge on your breath, it's taking a bit.
Alright, something's obviously not right, considering the fact that Featherwing's not responding, so... Malcom is going to drop down, and guess I'll kind of like, if the doors are closed, I'll kind of like push them open, and take a look inside.
Okay. You otherwise go down in draconic form, pushing open the doors. You see everyone face down on the floor before you. You see a singular form back turned to you, but you watch as the tendril on the back of its head almost quivers in your presence. As you see Sasha there, otherwise stunned, and then you watch as this large mouth wraps around her and pulls away. You watch as she disappears, and all that's left is a ball of light that looks ever so vaguely like her. From the follow-up for entering into the veil, and because he cannot use his cognitive his cranial splitter against you. Sasha, you would have taken 20 points of psychic damage.
Would you believe I'm still up?
That's fine. This is now Malcolm. You enter the initiative order. Go ahead and roll me initiative.
Since I'm in dragon form, will that take its or mine?
That'll take its dex,
Alright.
which I believe is a +0 on all dragons, pretty much.
Yep.
Okay.
So a 10.
10. Yep. Which means that you will be going before it, but after Sasha. So Sasha, your turn comes around at the beginning of your turn because you are held in this space. Take 18 points of psychic damage as you start your turn here. You are incapacitated and unable to, and your movement speed is 0, as you are held in place by these nails of psychic energy.
Unfortunately, that does manage to take Sasha down to 0.
Okay.
Unless there's some sort of bullshit I can pull here, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. You're on 0. You're unconscious but stable, yet you are not returned to the material realm.
My
Malcolm.
last thought, but can I just do a thing?
Go ahead.
My last thought as this thing comes down to this, as I'm like fading, is just like, I'm sorry, Elsyan.
No.
You hear nothing,
Don't
Elsyan.
you. Don't I feel something?
Go ahead and roll me an insight check. Oh no, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Let me be 6.
No.
Let me feel, Chris. Let me feel the depth of my move.
With the last thing from
Whatever
Queglod
Sasha
being
is.
said of, let us know if anything happens, you hear nothing.
No bad feelings about this? No?
No, not from you.
I'm sorry.
You were so confident. Of
I
course you
was
don't have
okay.
bad
You know what?
feelings.
Elsyan is really confident that Sasha is still alive. And that's
Technically
what hurts.
I am, but
And Malcolm
not
might
for
That's
long.
what
And depending on what Malcolm does, he might be the next to go, so we'll see. Malcolm, it is your turn. You see what looks to be a now almost a crumpled body of Sasha within the small sphere in front of this creature. As it turns to face you, the two maws on either side dripping with blood and saliva.
Immediately before this thing has any chance of doing anything, I am saying with the telepathic bond, guys, there's trouble. We need everybody back now. Putting a very much emphasis on the now part.
Okay.
And I'm also going to add in, it got Sasha.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d20, please. As you are outside of its range, but you're within its second range.
It's D24.
Okay. And add your intelligence modifier.
Intelligence. All right.
I believe
My
that's a 10.
intelligence modifier is that is a 12. Wait, hold on. Sorry, no, I read the wrong one. That is a 10. Yes.
Okay. The rest of you hear nothing. Okay.
Well,
That is
Malcolm
your.
doesn't know?
I'll say that is your free action to communicate.
Um,
And you are in a draconic form, correct? A what? Young or wildling?
young.
There you go.
Roll on this real quick. Nope.
Nope.
Ah.
You see what looks to be almost black ring that runs around it as you otherwise step into the room, kind of moving in. Seeing this, you send the message, and all you hear is kind of this crackling static as you otherwise see the ring in front of it.
This is not good. About how large is this ring?
It's around about 30 feet away from it, it seems.
Okay. Hmm. Let's see. What all do I have? I'd like to gauge something. I'd like to gauge if it only has interest in me or if it would have interest in the people around it as well.
It doesn't seem to have reacted to the people around it, but then again, everyone's unconscious, and you've just rolled up on the scene, so you don't know what caused that. You know that your family's here, you see that everybody else is here. To use a breath weapon indoors, we'll hit all of them as well, and given they're unconscious, we're looking at death saves.
I don't have a breath weapon
I know.
currently. So.
I'm just mentioning it for future turns, that there will be people you will hit if you do use it inside.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
I get.
There is one
Can I-
way.
Can I get it to answer a question?
If you want to engage in diplomacy, that will be your action. And you will start the conversation. It will either respond or ignore you. It's up to you.
Well, considering that Malcom has done the message and he doesn't know if it really got through or not, he believes it got through.
Until
should
there'd
say,
be a
right?
reply, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he believes it's gotten through, so he's gonna try and stall as much as possible, I guess.
Okay.
Don't really know what else I can do. I don't know what this thing is, and I don't know what it can do, and I'm scared, and...
Yeah, that's rough, buddy.
Really? Okay.
Sorry, but like, what the fuck do we do here?
Yeah, Malcolm's just gonna try and stall.
What are you going to say?
I mean, I can tell that it's definitely here to kill people, because, I mean, Sasha.
You don't know. You wandered in and there's a ball in front of him with Sasha inside of it, so it could be here to
I
capture.
saw it, well, it could be here to capture, but I saw it go after Sasha.
Yes,
should
this is
say.
true. You also heard warning of something on the way.
Oh, so we did get that message?
Well, yeah, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to reply, saying that there was something here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You
I'm
heard
just
that.
getting-
You heard that message, and then it arrived.
I'm just gonna ask. Are you only interested in us, or are they fair game as well?
And you watch it otherwise kind of turns to face you, and casually kind of takes a few steps forwards. And you watch as it does so. You watch as the ones around it and the furniture almost begin to phase out of existence. I have no interest in them. I only have interest in the ones that I've been told that I can't kill. He turns and looks at Sasha. Give my thanks to Elsyan. Unless you wish to go down too. There's almost a wide grin across the surface of his face.
Stab this motherfucker. I know spells, but stabbing sounds more fun.
Oh man. Would it be fair that I'd have to make a wisdom saving throw for myself? because he's been in situations where he's tried to fight things
If
alone
you
before and it
feel-
has not gone well.
If you feel that you would be frightened in this instance, you can choose to succeed or save according to you, because he has no feature to do so. So it is entirely down to your choice. If you wish to make a save on your part to do so, you can do it against his spell save DC. I believe you can succeed on... What's your plus?
For wisdom,
Yeah.
plus 12.
Okay, so there is a chance that you will succeed. So you're welcome to roll if you want to. It's up to you. Or you can take whatever stance you feel that you would in this situation. This music's a little bit loud.
Well, like I said, Malcolm's gonna try and stall. I am personally terrified of this thing. I don't know how Malcolm would be about this. I just know that I'm terrified and
It will be fine.
Malcolm needs help.
Okay.
Lots of help.
Okay.
It's just,
I
I can't use a bonus action because I used. Wait, did I use a bonus action?
No. You used a free action to try and communicate with your party, which failed, and you used your action to engage in diplomacy, which was asking that question. At this point, I'd say it would be another round.
Oh, so I don't get my. Oh, okay.
So at this point, you have a new action and a new bonus action, as
Oh,
well
I
as a
have a new
movement if you wish.
Action and a bonus.
Yeah, it is your turn again. It took its turn to establish the diplomacy or the
Okay.
conversation.
Does it look hurt at all?
No, it is untouched. And as you kind of go to inspect it, you get a vague sense of almost uneeriness to it, a level of power that you felt once before, one that's similar to that of the Skin Scribe.
Okay, Malcolm definitely doesn't want to fight this thing alone. Yeah. Yeah. Malcolm can't fight this thing alone, and he gets that feeling from it, and
Yep.
Malcolm's backing up. Like,
Okay.
Malcolm's backing up. There's no way. Even in dragon form, he cannot fight this thing, and he knows it.
Okay, so you're gonna try and run?
That's the only option.
Okay. You otherwise go to leave the door, and you feel this almost strange presence as it's going to use its reaction to use Warp Reality. You spend your movement and your turn fleeing, and you end up in the exact same spot, as it cancels all of your movement for one turn.
Fucking hell. Okay, so it took my movement and what?
It took your movement and your action as you were trying to flee.
Alright, well then Malcolm's just gonna take a defensive stance.
Okay.
Bonus action, patient defense.
Now, where are you going? I didn't want to harm you. I said you were free to not interfere. I didn't say you could run, though.
Fucking hell. I don't like that. Well, Malcolm's dead.
Oh.
He takes more steps forward, stopping. I have a message for you. One that will be passed on, if you will. He waits for you to respond.
I'm listening.
Tell Elsyan I have his wife. And if he wants her back, he can come get her. To which you watch as he turns, stepping back over. You watch as he wraps his maw blade around the orb, and they're gone.
I am still terrified. Is it no longer dark around here? Or
You
is it
see
still dark?
you see that the circle of magic, which seemed to have created that darkness, dissipates as he is gone. You feel the pressure lifted, almost as if a massive weight is taken off of your chest as you begin to breathe heavily. Even in dragon form, it hurts, and you feel shaken by that at the least. You take a moment Do you wish to communicate with the rest of your party as what's just happened?
Yes, but Malcolm is sounding terrified and putting emphasis on the fact that it was on the same strength power wise with Skinscribe.
Okay. This time the rest of you hear this. Something has happened. Sasha is gone. And this, whatever this powerful thing is, has taken Sasha. You all hear this.
Elsyan, I'm turning around. If you want me to drop you off and you can keep going. Say
Oh
so.
no! Oh, don't you dare!
Alright.
Right. I've got an idea. And I know this idea comes up once a session, but the wish spell is a thing.
It is.
The damage of casting spells after casting wish for something that wasn't just another 8th level spell, that does always happen, doesn't it?
That always happens, regardless of whether the wish succeeds or not. And the wish only rolls if it took place. Now, this does mean that if the wish isn't what you intended, then it still takes place with the roll to try and lose it.
Yeah.
The damage persists, it lasts 24 hours. If you end up making a big wish, it can have an extended duration. As you are aware,
That's I'm aware of Delman.
Delman exists for his entire
Right.
existence.
Queglod, get us to the party. Some bastard has taken my wife and I'm gonna get her back.
Okay, I hope you have a plan.
Not a good one, but quite frankly, I think we're out of those.
Okay.
We very rarely had any.
Okay.
Okay, Felipe is a big wing beat, halting his momentum, turning around, and then flying off back in the direction of the tavern.
I'm aware my mother's got the guards. She should be alright. They'll be able to fight off. They're, what were they? Not Bloodbriars,
Yeah, Bloodbriar Knights.
they're Bloodbriar Knights. We're
Bloodbriar
fighting
Knights are
Illithids.
made to fight psionic
Fight Illithid,
creatures.
to fight psionic creatures.
Yeah.
In this instance, you're looking at it's like, oh yeah, Illithid, CR10 creatures. Like, oh yeah, this thing could take down a guard, and it's like, yeah, but this is meant to kill it.
This is the guy that's like spent his entire life training to kill this sort of thing.
Exactly.
And I don't get the sense of the sort of training that's balked training either, where they train for things that don't actually happen.
They're elves. Most of them, depending on age, some of them live
For
through the
years.
atrocities. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier. Enough. Right. When
So-
you get back to the tavern, okay. I need everyone to. Right.
You hear a
I've got an
response.
idea.
You hear a response from Delman. Are you okay if I go on to check on
You-
Shariel?
Do what you want, Delman. Quite frankly, some eldritch horror has gotten my wife. And by anything that anyone's held her. You know what? Fuck it. By a Turan, I'm gonna stab that bastard.
Okay.
Alright.
Right. Okay.
Owing to the situation, I'm granting you a stay of execution, but don't get comfortable.
If we survive this, good luck.
Okay. Right then. I presume everyone's sort of gathered.
Okay.
At the tavern.
You go back to the tavern. Arriving at the tavern, you see what looks to be a very shaken Malcom surrounded by everyone unconscious, but breathing. And by everyone, I mean everyone. Your high-level friends, all of them.
Right. Bern? Bern, you're quiet, mate.
Hello, yes.
Right. Are you able to cast a teleportation circle?
Teleportation circle.
Do you have the spell slot?
Whether I have it prepared and yes, I do. Why?
I was hoping that I would be able to use the teleportation circle and use Wish in some sort of conjunction to teleport us to Sasha.
I'm not sure it's gonna work with teleportation.
You're really quiet, mate. I can barely hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Better?
That's a bit better.
I'll turn the music down a
I'm
little
not
bit.
sure if it's gonna work with teleportation circle, but
Plane shift?
I don't have any higher than 5th level.
Well, teleportation.
Teleporter might work, but I don't have it right now.
Would you of using teleportation circle to effectively act as a jumping off point, I guess?
If you want
And
to
then-
use it as a component for this kind of thing, I will allow it. As it does use some creative elements. The nature of its effect, however, will be warped depending on the wording. And I will ask for an intended output when you do apply the wording.
Because right now, Elsyan's smart enough to be thinking, okay, with Wish, you've got to be specific with it.
You've got to
He
be
knows
specific, but to the same degree, I do allow a little bit of leeway for you to say your intended outcome versus your worded outcome.
Okay. Well, I might as well say what I intend now. You said we've got powerful allies here as well, yeah?
You do, but they are all unconscious, which means that if you do get them back up, they'll be on
okay.
1 hit point.
1 hit point. Okay, fine. Then they're useless. And I almost just knocked some ticketing masala onto my floor. Completely unrelated, that. But
I mean, you
but
could have done
yeah,
it in the tavern as well, so you know.
But that.
Sorry, can I just take a moment here?
Mm-hmm.
They've been knocked unconscious.
Correct.
How have they been knocked unconscious? Because it doesn't make sense for if it's just they've been affected by an unconscious effect for them to go to 1 hit point. Because the sleep spell doesn't put people to 1 hit point. I want to know what exactly is the situation.
Is sleep unconscious or is sleep incapacitated?
Sleep is unconscious,
Oh,
and
Oh, it is
unconscious
unconscious.
applies.
Okay.
Unconscious applies incapacitated.
Oh, okay. In this instance, then I would say no.
They'll still have the hit.
They weren't knocked there via damage, so they'll still have the hit points.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So they'll still have the hit points, so they're not useless. Cool. Right. Get these woken up. Bern. Draw any fucking teleportation circle. Don't really care. Just something that will fling us somewhere hard. Right. What I intend to do is use the teleportation circle that Bern's gonna draw. Don't worry, we'll be paying you back for the chalk. But teleportation circle. Use Wish to get us, the party, our allies that are of any use in a fight, which I presume is most of them, to go with us. Pretty much anyone standing on the teleportation circle to go with us, so that we then end up where Sasha is at this moment in time, without being flung stupidly into the future or past.
What's the plan when we get there?
Well, make it up as we go along.
Just to make sure we're all on the same boat here. This will almost certainly get us all killed.
Entirely.
Okay, let's go. Where are Behold and Chronicle in all this?
They were helping ferry people out. They last an hour, so they last an hour outside of the lantern, and then they return to it. So you can resummon them nice and easily. It doesn't take anything. But they're in the lantern currently.
Well,
they count as passengers at this moment outside of everything else. And general note for who's here: Reagan is here, Maverick is here, Markoth is here.
Is he still drunk?
Yes. Markoth.
You know what? That could be even better.
The only one who isn't drunk out of this list is Nagriel.
Abbot and Gree, I assume? Abbot and Gree?
Abbot and Gree are nowhere to be seen.
Right, we'll just have to make do with what we've got.
So
this
you've
is not
got Reagan, Maverick, Markoth, Nagriel, Malcolm's family, and Osdric. Osric is not combat orientated. He is a smith.
Osric ain't.
No,
This is
nor
what I'm
is-
saying. Anyone that was standing on the circle, anyone that.
Yeah.
Oh, Osric will be an idiot and want to come help save Sasha, won't he?
Yep.
Well, I've got to announce this to. Right, okay, we're going to go save Sasha with a stupid plan that'll probably get us all killed. But you know what? If I'm going to die, I want Sasha to be there so she can mock me as I die.
You
If
revived
no
me
one wa-
once before. Don't see a reason why I shouldn't be going with you, Reagan says.
Oh, also, I will warn, on the other side, I will be, what's the term? Fucked.
Maverick kind of... I can try something. I'm not skilled in combat, but if you want me along, I can try and help.
Okay, how can you help? Sorry,
I can do small amounts of healing here and there, but outside of that, I'm not skilled in combat. I've used up most of my abilities defending your friends.
Okay, I will not lie to anyone here. This is most likely a suicide mission. We have no real idea what we're up against here, and yeah, we'll most likely die.
Markov kind of steps up.
If I go alone, I go alone.
I
That's okay.
can help, but
For goodness
oh.
sake, man, cast lesser restoration on yourself.
You know that doesn't work with Dead Man's...
Cast greater restoration on yourself.
You know that doesn't work with Dead Man's Drink.
Fair point. Entirely fair point. Just do something to yourself. No, not that.
He sits down, kind of, not in the best state.
Okay.
Oh,
Well then.
Did he take both her body and her soul, or how's it? Like,
You aren't sure.
I presume you don't see Sasha's body.
You
lying
Her
don't-
there.
you
body
don't see
turned
Sasha's
to
body.
light.
Yeah, from Malcolm's description, her body was encapsulated in almost an orb, and then it was gone when he went.
Okay, can I Arcana check to figure anything out about that?
You don't know the extent of this magic. This is far beyond you.
Far beyond. Okay.
This is far beyond any of you for this.
Well,
Shouldn't suppose it bears any resemblance at all to a spell that I know.
Which is?
Imprisonment.
I would say go ahead and make me an Arcana check with disadvantage, and the DC is going to be ludicrously high for this.
I can't help provide advantage to get a flat with my own knowledge of magic, can I?
I'll allow it.
Okay, so flat roll.
So a flat roll. Go ahead, Queglod.
Alright. Nope. 18.
Imprisonment is one thing. It takes time. By the sounds of it, this sounds similar to banishment or demiplane, but never has it been used in such a manner to steal people, to harm individuals. You don't know the nature of the magic. It's too alien to you.
Oh then. Well, are we ready to go?
Reagan and Nagriel will go with you. Reagan is a dwarf, so he isn't less affected by the drunkenness problems. Nagriel wasn't drunk, as he is a paladin who kind of keeps his... or a fighter who keeps himself sober.
Those of you that stay here, just remember us. And if we don't come back, and if we do come back, wonderful.
I'll say, I'm gonna be fucking useless.
We all are, but I
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
risk a long rest.
Spells for
No, I'm gonna be, like, completely useless.
Okay.
What were you trying to say,
Actually-
Sudz?
I was gonna see, even in his drunk state, I was gonna see if, man, I can't remember his name now. The Plague Lord.
Markov.
Yeah, Markov. I was gonna see if he could possibly I know this is a long shot, but it's the only thing that I can think of. I wanted to see if he could sort of get the skin scribe's attention, see if he'll come here and help, because this is something on his strength, and I'm terrified. And yeah, it's the only thing that I can think of that could make this less we're all gonna die as soon as we get there.
Okay.
Okay, right.
You speak to Markoth about this while Elsyan's talking to the rest. Markoth kind of sits there leaning back. I can try? Go ahead and roll me a d100, please.
Goodness.
Lower is better.
Nope.
77.
You watch as he tries to cast Sending. He says no words, and thump, his head hits the table. He is unconscious again.
Goodness. Well, I guess this is the end.
Right. Okay. Now, this feels like a trap, right?
Feels like it.
It's. I can't think of any other explanation.
We don't.
As the kidnapped party, I'm not allowed to say anything, but good luck, guys.
Is there?
Is there what?
Okay. We all know that. Ideally, we'll be going into this fully rested, but we don't want to leave. We don't want to leave Sasha. I don't feel like we should be just leaving Sasha there while we decide to have a nap.
Hmm.
I agree. That does seem pretty callous.
But I also.
Am I allowed to say anything here, just as a
I mean,
player
I
rather
assume-
than as a character?
You aren't here. I'll say if
I mean,
the
to help
next
with like us just deciding what.
if
to
the
do.
next 10 minutes go by and the party hasn't decided, I'll let you say a choice, because that will be getting close to the end of the session.
I mean,
And also, yes, you can.
Noted.
In answer to the question that was sent, by all means, if any of you want to choose not to go, your characters can choose not to go.
honestly, I wouldn't blame you in the slightest. This is us jumping into something something that's just giving off the same vibes as the skin scribe.
Yeah, you can come up with contingencies between one another, so discuss what kind of things, if any, would help with this scenario. But in this situation, as you're otherwise trying to go through this isn't something simple you can just wave away. This is rightfully a wish spell, and 2, a decision that
Could get our characters killed.
could get your characters killed.
On that note, I would say that I don't think we should go until Jamie's here to decide for Rook.
That is fair.
I agree.
I can say if you want to come up with a general plan, I can discuss it with him on a later date, and I can say
Honestly, what I've already said is the most I've got by way of a plan.
Okay. So
So by way of Elsyan's panicking about this as well.
Okay. In which case, is there anything else anyone would like to do before a decision is made for the party on what your next course of action would be? Because as Jamie would probably say in his stead, a short rest is better than no rest because it will help with some people getting their stuff back, him included. He's right as rain to do stuff, but that's just him. He knows that as spellcasters you guys wouldn't have the best situation. But if you can at the least get your hit points up, that way you can try without spending a full long rest. I imagine that's something that he would probably say and mention. But at the same time, I think he'd also feel like his character doesn't necessarily want to go due to the sheer immensity of what's coming.
Yeah. I'll say if he doesn't want to go just because this will get us killed and his wife will be angry at him. Fair.
In this situation, for me, Malcom doesn't want to go because he has like no spell slots. There's nothing he can really do being there.
As I said, Bern is completely fucking useless. I have no weapons, no spell slots, almost nothing.
We're not prepared to take on something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're not at all.
All I will say is, given that this was a kidnapping and not an assassination, it strategically makes more sense to wait and either be at full strength or see if they reach out to us. However, if Elsyan does decide to go through with it now, I will come with you.
I'll say in this instance, Harlan, is there
Wait a
anything you wish to add as a player?
Go the fuck to sleep.
I figured that would be your thought, but okay, right.
Well, that's the other thing is, Sasha is tough.
Oh no, I'm weak as shit right now. But quite frankly,
Okay.
as much as I am deeply, deeply wanting to not be where I am right now, and would very much like to have not gotten into this situation, I'd much prefer, first of all, that it's just me rather than anyone else, and second of all, that if you are going to try and rescue me, you come at it like full whack. Also, I can't say the thing I want to say because it's a more in character decision than an out of character one. But I think you're being a bit dim. I'm now going back on mute.
Typical Sasha. Party's being a bit dim.
Being a bit dim.
You hear the voice of Sasha saying you're being a bit dim inside of all your heads. It's strange.
Any way I can
almost
figure
like,
out what that means?
It's instinctual, almost as if your check from earlier has now given you the sinking feeling, and there's almost this vain sense of you're being a bit dim. Yet the DM doesn't know why. Oh, you can send me a message telling me why, but
Oh, the fuck to sleep. Okay, I want it known that I rolled for Elsyan's decision here, and I said to myself, okay, below a 10.
roll a 10.
We're gonna go straight there. A 10 or above. Elsyan sort of comes to his vague senses and knows it's a trap, and take our time. Right, we're not prepared at all. I don't like it, but I think we should rest. We should rest, regain power, regain strength. Will also allow me to check on my mother.
Okay. You focus on getting some strength, regaining your strength and resting. Doing the best you can to fall asleep. Given it's night, that's easy enough to do. And with all of you kind of feeling this terrible notion inside of you, like all of this is going on, the city around you goes calm. The bells stop. But the vague sense of uneasiness still continues. Eventually you hear a reply from Delman. Elsyan, Shariel is okay. The guards are okay.
Wonderful.
They protected her against what came. But from what
That's
I
good.
understand, they've massacred a lot of the people in the central city.
Okay.
How are things there?
They've got my fucking wife. So not good.
What are you planning to do about it?
Something stupid. Using wish. God, maybe I'm just a younger version of you.
There's a pause as you hear his thoughts rather than his words, as he's kind of subconsciously, mistakenly doing this. As you hear almost, not necessarily a snarky reply, but almost a sad reply of, it's just like the atrocities. There's almost a moment of pause as you specifically get a flash of memory as you watch as from his perspective, his mother and your grandmother are taken by illithids. You watch as he is broken, and as a younger child back then, probably in his mid-70s, which for them would be around, I believe, 8 to 10 years old, clutching your mother in his arms as a babe, flees the scene. There's a moment of sadness that washes over you as you get the exact same feeling as him. But instead of it being your mother in this instance, it is your wife. You all rest as best you can, the uneasiness setting in, the fear setting in, the nightmares of what you've seen and what you've heard, what you've felt. Your allies willing to help but unable to do so, and the scaredness of what's happening. As you are resting, Bern and Elsyan, you're the first two to awake, given the nature of each of you. As Elsyan, you are awake, kind of lying on one of the sofas downstairs.
I actually just, as soon as I'm awake and feel rest enough, I'm up and just pacing around, anxious to get going, but no, I can't disrupt the others.
Okay. As you are pacing around, you feel this almost strange sensation, similar to the one before, but slightly different. As you hear a voice creep in. So, Elsyan.
Fuck off.
You're taking your time. I understand. I only wish to talk.
And talk quickly.
It's not like you could stop me anyway.
I could blow my own brains out. It'd be less painful.
And what good would that get you?
Peace and quiet.
Maybe. And what about her? You would just leave her? Forever? I guess
Probably
you're right.
not.
You would get peace and quiet. But I don't think that's what you would want. But there is something I would like. And I'm willing to make a trade. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session. I just hear the grappling from Sam.
No.
So, with that, the party resting, Elsyan awake, otherwise standing there, and Bern somewhere else, trying to focus on what's going on with the dawning of what has taken place now reaching the minds of each of them, the fears and the worries, as Sasha is some other place. That is where we will end, to come back to this next week, where we will finalize this next section of the story. Thank you for watching.
I want you all to know
I hope you
am
enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.